Hello everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons & Dragons. Before we go ahead and dive into tonight's episode, we have some announcements to get through, so hang tight for just a moment. We have two fantastic sponsors for tonight's episode. The first, of course, our fantastic returning friends and allies in this campaign to D&D Beyond. Sam.
D&D Beyond, everybody. It's almost Thanksgiving time, and I thought, what better for us to do than to thank our longtime sponsor, D&D Beyond. They've been with us all campaign, we hope, into the next year. So as a token of our appreciation, we put together a highlight reel of all my best moments from all the best D&D Beyond ads of the year. So roll that clip, gentlemen, and we're gonna, hold on. I've just been handed something, okay. I'm being told that we don't have that clip, which is disappointing because we had meetings about this all week. I talked to editors about this, and this was important to me and to, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm being told that we did not have meetings all week about this, and this is a bit that I wrote about an hour ago. But needless to say, I feel like D&D Beyond is gonna not like this because we've taken them on like this roller coaster of emotions now, and they're gonna be pretty pissed off. They may pull their sponsorship dollars. Okay, now I'm being told that no, they will not pull their sponsorship dollars because they just really just want me to read the ad copy that they provided me 2 days ago. And so I'll just read that now and they'll be happy. As a reminder from last week, Dungeon of the Mad Mage and the Magic the Gathering D&D crossover Guildmasters Guild to Ravnica are available now in the D&D Beyond Marketplace. Be sure to pick up yours at dndbeyond.com/marketplace. Okay, fine. So maybe they're a great company, but I feel like they're gonna resent me for... I am being told that no, they're not going to resent me at all, and in fact, they have a promo code named after me. The promo code is Sam is our hero, not case sensitive. It can be used right now for 25% off all digital books, including those 2 books I just mentioned earlier. So go to the store right now and use it. Okay, forget about D&D Beyond. All right, the fans will be pissed off at me, right? They will think that I'm an awful human being. They'll drag my name on Reddit. Never happens. I am being told now that there's nothing written on any of these pieces of paper, and this is just a thinly veiled attempt to get attention to myself because I am very insecure. I have these deep-seated problems, and I'm being told now that I'm actually pretty happy, and I don't have any deep-seated depression or anything like that. I'm a pretty good guy, and wow, I really think, guys, that this journey has been this bit has been a journey for all of us, and I feel like we've all learned something about ourselves and about, nope, I'm being told we have not learned anything. Oh my God. And that I'm to wrap it up. So back to you, Matt.
Thank you, Sam.
Sure. We're going to recycle all those pictures, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. May you enjoy your ever future in race car beds. And thank you, D&D Beyond, for being our friends and allies in this. Our secondary sponsor tonight is the fantastic company's Think Fun's Shadows in the Forest game. For those who haven't seen it, this is the reimagining of the classic game Waldschattenspiel. I know I've pronounced it terribly, but Think Fun licensed it, maybe. But Shadows in the Forest is the only collaborative board game that you actually play in the dark. So in the game, you play as shadowlings. They're kind of these scattered gnomish-like creatures that hide in the shadows and live in the forest. It's really, really cool. But you'll have to work together to try and meet under a singular tree on the board while one of the players places a lantern, an actual physical lantern that gives off light. And so you can only move within the shadows, and if the player moves the light,
awesome.
it's really cool.
I brought a copy, actually. I forgot to bring it out onto the table, but I did, in fact. I have a copy that we will probably play.
It's really cool, because if you play one of the shadows and you get caught in the light, you can't move, and if the person who's playing the light manages to catch all the shadowlings in the light, they win. But if all the shadowlings manage to meet under there, but it actually uses...
animation for a promo that's during the break.
Yeah. It's got little stand-up trees. It's got, and the little creatures are very Miyazaki-looking, and the whole thing's got a very like Candyland for goth kids kind of vibe, and the dice glow, which I also think is really cool.
Yeah. It looks pretty fun. So you can go ahead and check it out on Amazon, and it's currently at 20% off there for a limited time. So make sure to pick up your copy now if you plan to. But it is Shadows in the Forest, and it is awesome. I'm actually really excited to try it out. Cool. So next up. Let's see, Travis, if you want to go ahead and talk a little bit about Operation Supply Drop.
Yes, Operation Supply Drop is my charity that we're supporting this November in honor of Veterans Day. OSD is an amazing charity. They've helped over 750,000 members of the military community in active service, in their transition back to civilian life. They help the families of the people that have served. These guys are so great. They have skill fairs. They help people with job training, resumes, anything that'll take them from being in the military back into the real world. And to me, it's just so personal. My family's been in the military for, oh God, decades. So if you can, share with your friends and family, give a little love. Everything you need to know about the charity or to donate is at critroll.com/OSD. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for your amazing support of this initiative. It's been awesome to watch all the critters come together to help support our troops there. It's been awesome. We also have a bunch of new live content coming to our Critical Role Twitch stream in the next few weeks, including the season finale of All Work No Play.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I've seen clips and I'm already pretty excited.
Very, very, very special.
I've been doing this a while. It might be the weirdest thing I've produced. It's freaking weird. Yeah, whole thing's bizarre.
There's also an All Honey Honey Heist coming up. All Honey Honey Heist.
Is it?
Honey.
Is it all honey plus Brian Foster or just all honey?
Nope, just all honeys.
Honey Heist, honey Heist.
Laura, of course. Some old friends, Mary, Elizabeth, and Noel Stevenson.
Wow, juicier.
Some classics.
That's some heavy sort of Shira juice.
Yeah, straight up.
Some power at one table. Wow.
Yeah, as well as the lovely Danny Carr that we all know. The lovely Brittany Wallach from All Work No Play fame.
She's crazy.
Christina?
All Work No
Who
Play
else
fame?
am I missing? Huh?
Isn't Christina playing?
Oh, and Christina Ariel
Yeah.
from Sirens of the Realm.
Yeah.
Full house. It's full house.
It's gonna be a lot of fun, so check it out. We also have the Sam's Pavlov Fireside Chat coming up soon as well.
Oh, that's right. I have to do a fireside chat.
Yeah, you
Are you
do.
doing that in the Speedo or what?
No, he promised to freeball it.
Okay.
Amazing.
Okay.
Straight on out.
And much more. Go ahead and go to critroll.com for details of all these fantastic shows that are coming up in the next couple weeks. And we'll have more updates as far as our content schedule as it comes. Also, our second art book, as you mentioned, Chronicles of Exandria Volume 2, Legend of Vox Machina, is available for pre-order at the shop at critroll.com, or shop.critroll.com, and shop.critroll.co.uk for our UK and surrounding European brethren. An important note, if you do not reside in the UK or the US, you may want to check both stores to see which is most cost-effective to ship from. It just happens to be wibbly-wobbly shipping stuff. But huge thanks to all of you for your fantastic support, for all the fantastic artists and the fantastic community. This is a big love letter to the end of last campaign, and each of you having something really special to come to make this a memorable keepsake for all of us. So thank you. And as a reminder, there will not be an episode of Critical Role next week because it is Thursday, November 22nd, which is Thanksgiving here in the U.S.
I eat food.
Yeah, I know. But we will be enjoying time off with our families and friends, but we will be thinking of you guys in the meantime. We'll be back the week after that. So be a 1 week break. We'll see you in 2 weeks after tonight's episode. I believe those are all...
I got something.
Oh, sneaky Laura.
Oh, it's not on the thing, but I have it anyway. So, are you wearing it?
Yes, I
We
am.
have our hoodies are back in stock in shop.critroll.com. It's kind of new and improved. Yes, 2.0. So this is really awesome. Text was hand calligraphy. How do you say it?
Calligraphy.
Did I say it right?
Yeah.
By Chris Gladys, and then we turned it into this graphic, and so it's just really gorgeous.
Critter
And it's,
calligraphied.
yes, and it's super soft still.
It is.
It's so nice.
And then the other thing that's in the store now that we didn't tell you guys about ahead of time is something I'm very excited about. We have baby onesies! There's not a ton of them because how many critter babies are there? But I designed this one. It says I want to be a monster.
Yeah.
And look at the little red little
It's got a face rattle.
Don't worry,
Morning Star.
Also viable for our really, 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 really small critters. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Sam will fit in one.
We will certainly try.
In fact, for the fireside chat, we could.
I can just wear that.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
Ever.
Well, thank you, Laura. And with that, my friends, I think tonight it's time to dive into our episode of Critical Role. And welcome back. Wow. You guys ever creative? So, last we left off, the Mighty Nein. Garbage wine?
Garbage wine, garbage wine.
Oh, you didn't hear that?
Water.
The Mighty Nein had made their way to the Menagerie Coast, got swept up in a bunch of chaos, and found themselves out at sea amongst the Slovene Islands, taken in by a pirate crew, captained by Captain Avantika, basically at threat of death otherwise. Sent to an island to investigate a temple, learn about seals that possibly are keeping your patron, Ukatoa, at bay. Made your way back across the Lucidian Ocean towards the city of Darktow. Actually actively partook in some piracy.
Polite piracy.
Yeah.
Polite piracy.
Light dish.
Sure.
You got a participant trophy.
Yeah. Whatever it takes to let me sleep at night. And found yourselves at the pirate city of Darktow, surrounded by the Drag Shallow Reef, where you had just arrived with both ships, the Squall Eater and the Mistake. The crew you had hired out of Nicodranas, looking very confused and concerned at their current fate, given the fact they were just hired hands at sea. And you were ushered up along the sheer cliffs alongside Darktow Isle, along the stone shelf within the cavern where the Plank King himself greeted you. Bid you entry to the revelry, this extending band of pirates across this part of the ocean. Laid some ground rules and then set you on your way. And that is where we left off. So, Mighty Nein, as you descend the rain-covered stone steps that descend down the side of the cliff, how's that for alliteration in a phrase? Yeah. Making your way towards the now darkened evening city of Darktow, the distant glimmers of interior firelight slightly emanating from open windows. You can see folks walking through town, the light drizzle threatening to stifle the low torchlight being carried from location to location. You can see the outline of dozens and dozens of ships that are locked into the shipyard that surrounds the city, as well as the kind of crooked outline of nearby barricades set up across the reefs that surround the island. Avantika proceeds before you. What would you like to do?
Shoot her in the back of the head.
Just push her off the cliff right now. Ukatoa.
Yeah, so the group is us plus Avantika and...
Her crew?
No, just Avantika. Her crew went to the Bloated Cup.
Okay.
To the tavern.
And we're headed there.
Correct. You assume you're heading back there.
No, they said that pirate on and pirate violence is verboten.
She just slipped.
It's true. I saw it.
She fell down the stairs, you guys.
Nighttime, right? Sun as well?
Correct.
Okay.
I catch up to her a little bit. Hey, Avantika.
Yes.
Weird question.
Possibly a weird answer.
How much do you know? Like, how do you know how to give a certain amount to Avantika? Sorry, the planking. Freudian slip.
Well, when we return into the bay, we are to essentially give the materials, or at least a number of what we've managed to acquire. We are supposed to essentially, what is the word I'm looking for? What is the word I'm looking for? my brain is like,
What are you looking for?
I don't know.
tithe. I would say
Planking you.
when you're going through customs, and you have to declare. Thank you.
There it is.
You must declare the amount of which you had recently come upon, and from that there is a tithe offered to the Plank King, roughly about 25-30%.
Wow.
But we do not pay for our ship repairs. We have free asylum here within the island, and we are under the strict law that if anyone double crosses anyone else within the boundaries of the city, they will have the hammer of the Plank King done upon them.
It's very intense.
But it's a way of life.
So it's less like a government and more of like a union that you buy into?
More or less, yes.
All right.
They're not much into governing, more
But
just
a union with a dictator?
a union with a very hard-headed and forthright union leader.
Do you ever think you could make a good union leader?
Nah, I have my own specific interests. They're much more narrow.
Oh.
Why? Do you have aspirations?
No.
I didn't think so.
Who needs aspirations?
Well, some of us do. There has to be more to you than just this contradictory, for the sake of being contradictory aspect, huh?
I would love for you to tell me about it someday.
Come, let's have a drink, huh?
Yeah.
First round's on me.
Deal.
Everyone's fucking Avantika.
You are going to judge me for finger motions? Hold on, everybody, stop the game. Laura Bailey just shamed me for a sexual finger motion at this table after 3.5 motherfucking years. I have seen everything. Resume the game.
Avantika is the Infinity Gauntlet, and she has 1 stone. Or does she?
Well, she lost this stone, technically.
Well, I mean, we should take a look around, maybe get a sense of this place, since we're going to be here for a while while they fix the ship.
Yeah,
I have a few things I'm looking for.
Might as well go to the pub.
We could do that. Sure, I guess.
First drinks on her.
I think that guy was wearing a wig.
Oh, shit,
Oh,
that's
yes,
right.
yes. He did have a weird, like, hairline, right?
Yeah, it was a really bad made wig. I mean, the hair looked good, but it was really
Maybe
obvious.
that's in fashion here. Maybe we should all go wig shopping.
Ooh.
Just saying.
Captain, how did the current Plank King get to the position that he holds now? Do you know?
Well, as far as I have been told, at the very least, this was before my time of joining the revelry, there was a disagreement, and the previous Plank King seemed to be in the minority of the side of this disagreement, and the current Plank King was in the majority. So they stormed the caverns of the previous Plank King and tossed most of his corpse to the rocks below.
Little mutiny, eh? Did, interesting. No, that's all.
To his credit, the current Plank King has done a very fine job of maintaining organization of the revelry.
That's what I was going to ask, if you were a fan or not.
It hasn't bothered me. He leaves us well enough alone. He follows the rules. We maintain all of the benefits of being under the banner, and I'm left to my own devices.
Any foes of yours in this Darktow? Anyone we should look out for?
I mean, there are a number of unsavory types, but I've made a bit of a reputation of being a little... People don't like to tangle with that too much, eh?
Yeah, why would you get wrapped up in that? Yeah, let's go grab a drink.
How long have you been a pirate?
Let's see, openly on the sea, it's about maybe 12, 13 years.
Whoa.
How did you fall into it?
I got sick of following somebody else's orders.
Where do you hail from?
I'll tell you over drinks. This is not the best place to have these discussions, eh? Perhaps after a few rounds. Come, the bloated cup.
The bloated cup.
Yeah, we go.
As you guys finish descending the stairs into the city itself, you catch there are quite a few patrols through the city. You can see the torchlight being held by each as they make their way, just keeping an eye out. You get the sense that there's probably quite a number of volunteers, or at least individuals that are intent in maintaining the semblance of civility here within Darktow itself. Leading close towards the bloated cup, you can see it's not that far from where you'd set your ship within the shipyard. It's a fairly large two-story tavern, very wide across its bottom, and seems to be at least one of maybe two social gathering sites here within the city once the sun goes down. 3 blocks away, you can already hear the music and chatter and laughter and yelling. And as you approach closer and closer, kind of begin to look from the outside in, the warm light and the movement of shadows across the open windows shows you that the place is pretty jam-packed. As you begin to make your way into, following Avantika to the interior, you hear the shouting and burbling and clinking of glasses as the far corner has what looks to be 5 or 6 individuals. You're not sure if they're paid musicians or just sailors who happen to have a bit of experience with a fiddle, a drum, and a flute of some kind. But as the music begins to play, you can see there's one table that has a lot of Avantika's crew. They've kind of pushed a bunch of chairs crammed together, with some bits of kind of dry bread and somewhat soft fruit, some cheeses laid out, and 2 large pitchers of ale already waiting at the get-go. And right off from them, you see a smaller table with everyone you've hired from the mistake, including Orly, all sitting there clutching their glasses, looking around, like, scared shitless. And as soon as you enter, their eyes just turn to you and they go,
They'll do that cafeteria thing. Hey, hey, you want to sit over here?
At which point Avantika goes, come have a seat, and pushes one of the other tables out of the way of a few other people that are already sitting at it. You watch as she just takes her hand and scoots it across the table, and they all go, ah! And they just kind of spit on the ground and get up and move away. Immediately you get the sense that there is kind of a power dynamic. Avantika seems to have at least some modicum of respect amongst the rest of the riffraff within this tavern.
Heather.
Pushing the tables together, kicking a couple of the stools over. It looks like there's enough spots at the table for most of you. 1 or 2 you might have to stand or find a place next to the rest of your hired help.
I'll stand.
I'll stand too.
All right. So as you guys all sit down, drinks and rounds begin to be passed to each of you. Conversations already mid discussing how you hear bits and pieces about how the blessing of the serpent has been upon us this past month. And, you know, being on the ship with most of the crew, they haven't been terribly social with you. You know, they've helped you and guided you in learning a few things, but there's still very much the separation and attention that you're the newcomers and the strange new shiny thing in their captain's eye. This is the first time you've seen them a little bit, you know, 3 sheets to the wind as a group, and they're talking openly. And Avantika has a definite zealotry to her. But you start noticing members of the crew and why they are with her, or at least when they've been there, they've also bought into these tales of Uk'otoa. And you get the sense that they believe that this path that she's following will lead to her success and by default probably their success.
How many of them are true believers?
Make an insight check for me.
You're no good at those, right?
I'm terrible at these.
I want to know what blood type they are.
26.
Okay, that'll do. Yeah, okay. You get the sense that Vera, who's the older human, the tough-looking woman who was her quartermaster before being placed with Ford, is definitely the most invested in this idea, this spiritual journey they're all embarking on with Captain at the helm. You also feel that Ipes, who's the gnome second mate that you've encountered previously, in a very similar way, is completely invested, eyes wide. This, his general banter tends to be a little crazed and sporadic, but whenever they're talking about the Great Serpent, and now with phrasing of the Leviathan as the titles become more prominent with Discovery, there's a reverence to his eyes and an attentiveness that is out of character for him. So you mark Vera and Ipes as two very, very intent believers behind Avantika.
Is there anybody who's awkwardly into it, but like definitely would probably walk away if they could? Is there anybody who's a little...
You get the sense that Bouldergut, the ogre, half understands it and is more just excited because everyone else is excited. It's like a dog that gets really wound up when everyone around is talking loud. That's kind of Bouldergut. A number of the deckhands appear to be invested, but they're less intensely driven and more just excited that their captain's excited and maybe starting to consider that there is something to this now that they've seen the things they've seen and the powers that she's acquired. That's a good spread of what you've managed to gather.
That'll do.
I'll grab a drink and I'll head over to where Vera's sitting.
Okay, Vera is sitting directly to the right of Avantika, and there's not much space to sit next to her, but you could grab a stool and squeeze in to her right side.
Yeah, actually, I'll take a drink and I'll plop it down right in front of her, and I'll take a knee actually on the floor, just so I'm kneeling next to her on the other side of Avantika.
Okay.
And I'll say, hey, listen, no hard feelings, right?
There is no hard feelings. I understand the reasoning. And the captain's word is law. I am excited to see the great things you accomplish as the quartermaster of our ship.
Right, whatever's best for the ship.
Precisely. And for the captain.
Well, I feel the presence of Uk'otoa smiling on all of us, and I know that our partnership here will be a beneficial one.
I can only agree.
Well, this has been fun. If you need anything as your quartermaster, you just let me know.
Aye, aye. Captain.
Looks to Avantika. Avantika right now is deep in the cups. At this point, a figure turns around the corner. You see a male gnome, short, maybe in like his 40s or so, with spiked hair. It's thinning on the top, but you can see he's like taking thick balms of some kind to try and make it look intensely young and failing halfway. Big mutton chops that come down to a very pointed chin. And he's dressed in fairly decent clothing, like a nice silk vest with like billowing sleeves out of his shirt, with some bangles that kind of clink around his wrists. He comes and finds way on the opposite side and looks across to Avantika, grinning. He goes,
Well. It's been a while since we've seen you around here.
Yeah. She turns to him and goes, "Ah, sorry! You're back from that fool's errand, I see. How was the shattered teeth?" He goes,
Foggy and cold as shit. How goes your cloud-chasing journeys, love?
And she goes, grand. We might have scored a fine shipwreck and a promise of salvage, eh? Looks back to him. You up for hire, perhaps? Yes.
Tempting, but nah. I'm still fresh off the water. Kind of want to enjoy myself a while.
She's like, all right, very well. We'll be in port for a day or two while we get some repairs done. If you change your mind, well, just start shouting. I'm sure we'll find your annoying voice easy enough. And he goes,
sure that is, eh? You're all new around here.
Yeah, we're new pirates. Are you a pirate? I mean, I guess we're all pirates, right? Everyone's a pirate here?
No. At the moment, I'm a civilian and a drunkard.
Oh.
Shattered teeth. What's a shattered teeth? Did your teeth shatter? Is that a place? Is that a thing?
No, it's a series of islands to the south of here.
Huh.
We know that because we're pirates too, and we know those things.
I could fill a book with what I don't know.
Sorry, I didn't catch your name. It was...
Saurus Cade.
Saurus Cade.
What's your name?
I'm Ford. Nice to meet you.
Ford?
Ford.
All right.
What is it that, are you a captain or do you do something else that's more specialized?
Me? No, I'm a sniper.
A sniper?
What do you snipe with?
Things? Why are you so curious?
You're an interesting fellow.
Speak for yourself, sir. What's your name?
My name is Philip.
Make a deception check.
Name check.
It's a strong name.
What does that have my contacts in? I can barely see it. That's 11, right? So that is, 17.
17,
wow.
he goes,
Okay, Philip, and what's your specialty? What do you bring to the crew?
Oh, I am a navigator. Newer, but eager and looking forward to plying my trade.
Quick, Philip, which way's north?
It's right that way.
Look at that.
That's actually pretty
amazing,
good. That's
right?
actually pretty good.
You can spin it here. I'm going to spin him around a couple times. Now which way's north?
It's still over towards the doorway over there.
Right?
That's pretty good. Yeah. Me, I've got a few odds and things. Mainly with longbow. Good shot there, but an eye that can see things on the horizon. Mainly live up in the crow's nest, you know, keep an eye out.
You know, this is our first time on these islands, and I don't know much about it at all. Is there any kind of legal system here? Do you know what I mean? Or is it just, you know, is it whatever?
He's joking, right?
and Avantika goes, I'm afraid not. His bailiwick apparently is being curious and clueless.
I am a big reader, and there is a lot I don't know, like my tall friend over here. But, I mean, there must be trouble that breaks out. There must be bar fights and...
Of course, bar fights are fun. That's part of the reason we live here.
Well, I can see the appeal, but what happens if there's something riskier, or it causes theft of property for someone important, or...
If it's a member of the revelry, thieving from another member of the revelry, and it gets found out, it's brought to the Plank King. Plank King makes a judgment. Based on that, some sort of reparations, or...
So the Plank King is the law?
More or less.
Oh, that's biblical.
But you can still fight other people?
Yeah,
for fun.
Sweet. Why? Just looking for a fight?
No killing gesture.
For a fight?
Always.
Don't fight each other.
Why?
Because that's crazy.
I'll never throw the first punch, so anytime. He like taps the side of one of his jowls. You hear the ruffle of his fingers through his like somewhat curled mutton chop on the side.
Just
resistance.
Grabs a drink and like without breaking eye contact.
We just got here.
Why would you do this?
I'm the worst influence. I'm gonna say do it.
We are trying to get the lay of the land here.
Musketeers? Punch him in the chin!
You roll an attack.
Didn't even ask him if there's a bookshop nearby.
I almost did.
Might have gotten to that, perhaps.
Unarmed strike.
Unarmed strike. 14? No. 15.
15 hits. So you do 1 point of damage plus your strength modifier.
Oh, 4 points of damage.
Poof, right across his chin. He falls to the ground, turns around, rubs his chin.
It was a surprising bit of power there for someone your size. Come at me!
And he dives at you. Roll initiative.
Yes! 16.
16. Oh, he beats you to 17. 15 plus 2. For a small size, he is quick, and you watch as he kind of like jukes to one side, turns around, and is go for a haymaker to the side of your face. That's cocked. That's going to be a 14 to hit.
Oh, I turn and he hits my shield. Ping! Yeah! Oh, and I swipe at him with my tail and try to trip him.
Go for it. Make another attack roll.
Ooh, teeth and tail.
Ooh, 19.
19. Are you just doing damage, or are you trying to actually shove him and knock him prone?
Just knock him prone.
Okay, so go ahead and make it. That's your athletics check, actually.
Oh, okay. So I would add 13 plus athletics.
He's gonna make his acrobatics try and
16.
dodge. Natural 19. He manages to leap in the air, and your tail just woof, hits the side of the table and comes to one side. The drinks begin to spill. Everyone reaches out and grabs, prevents them from being knocked over.
Our drinks are like standing up.
Wow, you're quick.
As soon as you turn back and say that, you look, and he's not anywhere to be seen. And then you hear this from under the table. You glance down as you watch him leaping up from between your legs on the table to uppercut you right to the chin. That's going to be 18 to hit.
I'm 18.
He just manages to hit you. So you take 3 points of damage. Crack right from underneath the chin. Poof, up from you feel your jaw clink into your teeth. That's horrible, like screeching sound. It hurts. You can like feel the numbness in your face from the impact. After he hits you, he darts off around from behind, and you see he's going to probably go in for a hold. But you have your go.
Okay, I'm gonna reach out and try to just punch him in the back of the head.
Go for it.
Inelegant, but perfect.
Oh no, natural one.
No! You go to swing for his head, and he grabs your hand and goes, and he goes to pull you forward to go for a headbutt.
Oh no!
Ooh.
That's going to be a 19 to hit.
Fuck me.
Crack! Right to the front of the forehead and the nose. You can immediately feel the blood beginning to pour from underneath.
Crikey.
Behind you guys watch the crowd. A lot of people attention have turned to this bar fight. A few of them are now like backing up and getting their drinks ready to watch. Somebody else on the table goes like and punches somebody else and starts another aspect. And now there's another bar fight beginning on the side corner. It's your go.
Oh wait,
no,
so how much?
He finished
How
headbutt.
much damage
So you
was
go.
that?
3 points of damage. Every
Okay.
time you get hit, it's 3 points.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh no, should I be mean?
This is good.
Should I be mean?
Well, I'm gonna grab him after he hits my head, and I'm gonna try to knee him.
Okay, go for it. Roll for an attack.
Little tie clinch. I like it.
Woo, that's good.
yeah.
That's 23.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
So 4 points of damage right between the legs.
Another 4 points there. All right.
Ball
damage. Oh, you watch his eyes kind of squint and roll backwards a bit, and he goes down into a crouching position. Rights himself in almost a Mai Tai stance.
Below the belt.
That's 11.
Ah.
He goes and tries to swing, and you just parried off to the side without an issue. Go ahead and retort.
I'm gonna grab his wrist and try to spin him around.
Go for it.
16.
16 hits.
Yeah. I'm gonna grab him and try to like just grab both his arms and like hold him onto me.
Because you're grappling?
Yeah.
All right, so just go ahead and roll again for your athletics.
Oh no, that was really bad.
He rolled a natural 1.
Yeah.
Literally a natural 1. So he tries to squeeze out, but you've got a firm grip on his wrist, and you pull him back in, and you're now holding him until he's grabbed.
Say uncle.
He's like, no, never. It's his turn. He's going to go try and slam his head backwards into your face. That's, natural 18. That's going to be a 22.
Oh,
24.
no.
24. All right, so take another 3 points of damage. Crack, it hits you. For a second, you're afraid it knocked a tooth out, but you go ahead and feel with your tongue, and it's still there.
Do I still have a hold of him?
Yeah, you still have him. He's still grappled.
Okay, I'm gonna, I'm gonna turn my head and try to hit him with my horn.
Ooh, nice. Go ahead and roll for attack.
Oh, that was cocked. That was like crazy cocked.
Horny baby.
Woo, 19!
19 hits, takes another 4 damage. Crack! It like scrapes across his temple and it almost gouges an eye. And he turns to you, he's like, you're rambunctious, aren't you?
Yeah.
He's gonna go ahead and attempt to throw you off over his shoulder, like pull you into a roll. You get to make an athletics or acrobatics check against him as he tries to break from your grapple.
I got 1 gold on the blue one. Anyone want 1 gold on the blue one?
Oh no, 6.
6, no. Boom, breaks free and slams you onto your back. You're now prone from the reversal, but it's your round, so you can get up or attack if you want to.
Ooh, can I do like a breakdancing move where I like spin around and jump up?
Yeah, sure.
Like you did in that episode of Game of Thrones?
Sure, yeah.
If you
Did
watch
you say
the show.
Mario?
Arya.
What's Avantika doing?
She's drinking and watching.
It's me, the king
Kicked
of the
one leg up on the table and just
Mario.
glancing over, watching this transpire. So you were going to sweep as you get up?
Yeah.
Roll for attack.
13.
13 does not hit.
No.
You sweep and he leaps up and then from the air tries to come down onto your leg with the full force of his tiny gnomish body. Natural 20.
Oh.
So we'll say for the purposes of this, because the nature of a 20 with this will make it double full damage, because it's just fist fights. That's 6 damage to you from that. Crack! The leg and the knee doesn't dislocate or pop out, but you can feel it get pushed to the limit, and it hurts like a mother. Leaps off and is like, not too bad. Come on, bring it! And you can see now like one eye's a little bit, not swollen, but you can see it starting to squint from pain. You know, blood's leaking out of his nose and his mouth, and it's kind of smeared on one side of his cheek, and he's just like,
You're crazy, Saurus. I like you.
I like you.
Right in the
Go for it.
16 to hit.
16 hits. This is another 4 damage on him. Crack, crack. This next series of hits come at him. He's like, ha! Yeah, it's nothing! I'll get psychic. He's bring it!
Oh, no.
And he's going to come forward and try and just do like a series of pummeling in your direction. Natural 1. The sheer impact of the last blow seems to have knocked his block off, and he just starts doing the series of pummeling in the wrong direction, instead like pushing towards Caduceus. He just kind of like moves slightly out of the way. It's like batters at the side of his sleeve there, and how's that? Did I get it? Did I get it? Wait, looks around and finds you. Hi. Your turn.
I'm going to say, all right. We're friends now, okay? let's not do any real damage to each other. I'm gonna pat his head and cast Cure Wounds.
Oh.
Okay.
We're awing.
He's on the edge. Finish him.
I don't want to knock him out. He's cute. First level.
You have mashed his hair spikes down.
That is...
Yeah.
6 points of healing.
All right.
Two punches taken away.
Yeah, I know.
1.5.
We're friends.
He goes like, hi.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh no. Oh. Ooh, 21?
Whoa.
He looks at you for a second like, yeah, good point. I could have taken you anyway.
Yeah, no.
But we'll pick this up another day.
All right. Hey, I made a friend.
Yes, you did. Good job, Jester.
Yeah, and you kept all your teeth.
Pirates!
He comes up and goes for a handshake, grabs your hand, pulls you in, and gives like a soft headbutt. It's a little sore on both of you. Both of you kind of wince. It's like, pleasure to meet you. What's your name?
The Little Sapphire. That's my pirate name.
Sapphire.
Yeah.
Okay. Saurus. Pleasure to meet you as well.
I know, right?
As you guys have this conversation, you hear behind you, another table behind is broken, and you can see a person unconscious across the shattered pieces of wood, arms kind of curled in T-Rex style.
Not unconscious person down.
Oh, I'm gonna go steal from them. Oh, wait, no, you can't do that on this island.
Is that Blues Traveler?
It is the Traveler.
Okay.
The crowd goes like, whoa! Everyone who was mildly disappointed at the lack of finale to your fight has now focused on the other one that is completed with the smashing of furniture, the person on there kind of left scrapped up and just wrecked, the other individual, one eye kind of swollen shut, some square-jawed, burly-looking guy going, and everyone else kind of cheers.
What's the rest of Avantika's crew doing? Are they in the scrap as well, or?
No, they're just watching.
Yeah.
The scrap is only between like 2 or 3 people, it looks like, and one of them just went down. The other one kind of called it off after that, and the declared winner, everyone's briefly focusing on. But then, as fast as everyone cared, everyone sat back down and they're back to drinking. And you get the sense in that moment that this is not a rare occurrence around here.
Flare up.
Yeah.
It's like someone ordered a special, extremely expensive tiki bar.
Yeah.
I would like to.
Wow, where the fuck did you guys just go? I want to go there after the show.
Go to Trader Sam's. Where that mug came from.
That's why I have my tiki mug today.
Caleb brings a big mug of ale and sits down close to Avantika and says, over this din, this is a big long shot, but you seem very well-traveled and well-researched. This place is crazy, but any place worth its salt has books. Why are you laughing at me? Why are you laughing at me? Such a straightforward question. Well, I can tell from your reaction that there's probably no good place to acquire a book, but you seem more educated than the normal sort for the people around me, so perhaps you have a suggestion for a scholar lost at sea?
It is a very curious question. I imagine there are probably some books. That wouldn't be what is commonly considered contraband or heavy resale value. So most of the time when you are building a ship, you kind of leave the books behind.
Yeah, of course.
But if you're looking for books, your best bet is to go to the Sundry Square during the day.
Sundry Square?
It's about 4 blocks to the left after you leave the outside of here, just outside of the shipyard. It's where all the awnings and
craft fair.
Should I be checking the trash bin for these then, or do you think someone might actually have them for sale?
You can certainly ask around. Maybe both. I don't know.
I'm jonesing pretty badly for.
I'm looking for a blacksmith actually as well.
There's possibly a few around, if I recall.
Somebody worth their salt, since worth your salt's a really nice term. That's great. Worth their salt. Somebody worth their salt.
Just take it with the same.
Use that a lot. That phrase.
It's worth my salt.
Caduceus, how much is salt worth to you? Like on a scale of money to nothing.
Like a person's worth.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it at all now. That's a good question. I mean, there's so much salt around. To be fair, it's probably take a lot of salt to be worth something.
Sure.
I mean, you can just get it right out of the water.
Yeah, it's a fairly benign saying. Don't get too lost in
Everything's
it.
worth its salt at that point. Really, it's a terrible currency.
Just curious.
Drink a lot.
I was wondering how empty that cup is.
Has anyone been watching me drink?
I was going to ask.
I've been nursing the same cup the entire time and have been fake sipping it the entire night. I haven't actually had a
And you've had an ale or whatever everybody else is drinking?
Whatever they handed me.
I've
been doing this, to be fair, the entire time we've been together.
It's Bruce Wayne. Caduceus Wayne.
Caduceus Wayne?
Yeah.
Caduce Wayne.
What makes you say that?
Caduce Wayne. I kind of just elbow forward and I sit down next to Avantika.
Sure. Oh, jeez, take my chair. Fine, I'll go get another.
Sorry,
drink.
excuse me. Sorry.
Yep.
So, Avantika, what's next for the Squall Eater?
Well, and she kind of sits around everyone at the table and kind of gestures for everyone to lean in a bit. So it looks like we are to, after a couple of days of travel and supply gathering, make our way northward to a location that has been brought to my attention by our quartermaster. There is a likely chance that if there is some sort of treasure there, it would be of importance to our mission. However, it is a salvage mission, meaning there will be some diving. So I am looking for a few things to prepare for that. So a few of us can comfortably make our way beneath the waves.
Into the water?
Beneath the water, my friend.
Do cannon folk typically go on those trips, or do cannon folk typically stay behind with the ship?
Gunner master, not gunner.
Gunner master.
That is up to you. You are welcome to stay behind. However, if things go correctly, I think I don't think there will be any worry of drowning.
Oh. How can you promise that?
Trust me, I have a few connections that owe me a favor or two here on the island. But anyway, I need a day to acquire what is necessary. Nevertheless, at this point, she kind of looks up at somebody past you and goes, "We're having a private discussion."
Who is it?
And you turn and kind of follow her eyeline, and you see what looks to be a human female with curled blonde hair that seems to be a bit. The curls have fallen in the moisture and the rain from the outside. Dressed in a thick, ragged black coat, holding a cup. And she goes, don't worry about me. Just didn't expect this shore to drag you in quite so soon.
What?
There's like a moment of tension.
Do you recognize her?
No, you've not seen this figure before. They both kind of stare for a second. And she kind of turns and walks off to a far table.
Is she directing that towards Avantika?
Yeah.
What did she say? Haven't heard, didn't expect this, what? Drag?
Don't mind her. It's Allison. She's, what's the word? A right cunt.
Oh.
Not Heather.
Friend of yours or former friend?
Best of friends. No, just a very nosy thief at sea. Doesn't know where to stop poking where it doesn't belong.
Former business associate.
No, former competitor. But anyway.
I immediately grab my purse and hold on to it. The thing that I imagine most adventurers have, a little coin satchel.
Oh, but not like a cute little.
No, not like a Dolce & Gabbana. No, not a Kate Spade.
You mean a competitor in terms of sea space or in terms of your faith?
No, more of we've crossed territories once or twice, and she just has a habit of trying to embellish truths to the planking. Anyway, hand me the map if you don't mind. Oh, map's here, actually.
I knew someone like that once. They would always go fishing and say that they caught something, but they never did.
Fisherman?
Yes.
Avantika lays the map out on the table.
We'll put our weights down to weight it down.
You know, there was a discussion. It's coming.
We didn't actually. Yeah, the coasters are not heavy enough.
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
Like here's a cube. Have a cube.
There you go. A cube will do.
There's a cube. Right.
There's a cube.
As Avantika points it out, she shows the crew and says, "In 2 days' travel, we will make our way outside of the Drag Shallow Reef, coasting it northward for protection, to about here. We begin looking for our salvage." At which point, Orly, who's glancing over the side, kind of rubs his chin and goes,
Don't mean to question the captain's main objective. However, that looks like it's right around where the diver's grave, maybe.
The diver's grave?
She looks back and goes, "Perhaps, but does that spook you? Do ghost stories make you shiver, Turtle Boy?" And Orly just kind of like glances back at her with a narrowed stare and goes,
Long as I'm staying on the ship, I don't mind.
and he goes and sits back down to the table.
Divers die there.
At this point, Saurus right there goes,
"Oh, wait, is that where you're going? You're going over to the diver's grave?"
Yeah, figure so, yeah.
Well, that's generally an off-limits location for most salvaging, thanks to the cursed woman, eh? Do you know much about your history?
I'm sort of hoping this is a place where somebody named Rachel Diver may have bought a piece of land.
Or like
But
Sophie.
not at all.
It's always a Sophie.
Sophie Diver.
Make a history
that actually is
check.
a nice ring.
Yeah.
Right?
"You can with disadvantage just because of your lack of experience with the naval
I have
history."
heard ghost stories.
You'd make a history check as well. Just in case.
15.
Okay.
19.
13. Doesn't quite catch your attention. You've heard mention of the diver's grave as it was a series of poems from a book you once read. And the thing that comes to mind is the name Dashila. And you instinctively say, like, mouth it, Dashila. And he goes,
Dashila the Dreadful. You know about this one, eh?
I mean, I read a poem about her.
Poem I've not known, but maybe the song you've heard.
and then some of the crew around kind of nod, remembering, and he goes and grabs his cup and kind of claps it twice the table.
Oh, please, yes.
And the crew begins to kind of filter in as the song progresses. He
If
goes,
there's not 12 people that pop out behind this curtain, I'm going to be disappointed.
So he finishes the song.
Just waiting for Bill Murray.
Yeah, Soros goes,
Where once the waters rolled calmly by, where ocean's heart did sing, they stalked a lass with a hungry eye and claws that grasp and ring. With lantern lure of a glimmer pot, with treasure in her eyes. Below they swam to the gold they thought would await them as the prize.
Everyone starts clamoring together with the third verse.
Yet each of them went to surely die, the graves to not be found. For Dashilla and her hungry eye collects the lost and drowned.
And there's like a moment where they all clamor the drinks together and clink them and begin to drink there.
Yeah. That's fortuitous.
Her hungry eye.
Claws.
Her lantern light.
Doesn't she have a ring or something that you said in the
something
song?
about a ring and treasure in her eyes.
I was confused.
So you don't know the poem or song?
No, I know it. I just didn't. I mean, I read it, like one time. A long time ago.
Well, do you want a reprisal?
Yeah.
Where once the waters rolled calmly by, where ocean's heart did sing, and they stalked a lass with a hungry eye and claws that grasp and ring. With lantern lure of a glimmer pot, with treasure in their eyes. Below they swam to the gold they thought would await them as the prize. Yet each of them went to surely die, the graves to not be found. For Dashilla and her hungry eye collects the lost and drowned.
There you are.
Single eye, huh?
Bam.
Anybody else getting a bad feeling about that?
Yeah. No, why would you ever get the bad feeling about that? That sounds like
remix.
Break it down. Yep.
her hungry eye.
He goes,
But that's just a wives' tale, you know? A myth.
Right. Is that somewhere that you've been to? I mean, you seem like a very fortune-seeking type.
No, I've sailed over it. We just don't really salvage there.
You don't stop either.
What, in the middle of the ocean? Why? That'd be daft. Good luck. Looks at Avantika. Good luck with the missus. And turns around.
With the missus? Oh, the lady.
Oh, the Sheila.
Cursed woman.
We figure that's what he's referring to. Avantika goes, don't pay him any mind. It is a myth, and if it's not, well, we just finished tangling with a hydra and an entire island of snake people. You're not seriously worried about a woman, huh?
Well, we didn't fight them under the water.
Yeah, I'm more concerned about the waves. You have experience with this, diving?
I should have an answer to at least most of our troubles by the morrow. Just be patient.
Yes, no question.
You know, most myths are based off of some sort of fact. We don't happen to know what the song thinks this dreadful creature is, do we?
Not any more than you would.
She's an underwater banshee, for sure.
For sure.
Is that a thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can't really sing underwater, so how's that work?
It sounds a lot like global globus. Yeah.
I just love that everyone did that all at the same time. That's all I needed. Well, great. So we'll find this solution to the diving in the morning, and then in a day or two we'll make our way.
That is the idea.
Do you need any help securing this solution?
No, it's best I do it alone. It's more of a older business relationship. I don't want to make him think that this is a, how do you say, untrustworthy trade, if you will.
Well, being that you'll be out, anything you need done for the ship or the crew while you're away as your quartermaster?
Well, oversee the repairs to the mistake. I believe they've begun before the night is over for a bit. We probably will not need it for this endeavor, so it will begin and we will return from Darktow. It should be complete.
Wonderful. All right. And your crew? Do I need to keep an eye on anyone?
Not in particular. They'll be looking around here.
they'll be preparing, gather their materials. Anything you think you require for the trip at sea, go ahead and gather it. Go amongst the sundry square, purchase what is required, and then hopefully within the next 48 hours, we'll be back out on the waves.
48 hours.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Excellent.
Yeah, prompt.
What's Allison been up to?
Drinking in the back, having this conversation with somebody, and just kind of keeping one eye over at the table. Seeming just perturbed, not directly intent, but just, kind of occasionally narrowing her eyes in the direction of Avantika.
Being that this is our first time in Darktow, I would kind of like to see the rest of the area. Would anyone care to join me for a stroll?
Ooh,
That sounds like a great idea.
Sure.
It is good if you're going to do a night walk alone, or together as a group is much better than alone.
What should we be looking out for? Is there some sort of natural dangers, unnatural dangers,
Bad
things?
corners, alleys.
Well, I mean, the laws say you're not to steal from another pirate in here, but only if they're caught.
Only if they're caught.
Oh, you totally could have gotten this stuff from that guy.
But there are others out there who perhaps will see fresh faces and think, well, easy prey. And best not to cause a huge commotion immediately after arriving. Nobody does that, right?
No.
We definitely wouldn't.
Who would be so foolish? But little would they know they'd be tangling with Avantika's crew, and that's something they don't want to mess with, right?
One would think, yes. Anyway, I'm a bit tipsy, and I'm going to find myself an evening's of rest. The rest of the night and tomorrow is yours. Good eve.
Bonsoir. Good night.
Bye.
As she gets up, and some of the rest of the crew kind of stands up. You see Boulder Gut kind of in the back stand up as soon as the captain stands up and goes like, "We're going." It's like, "Come on this way." Walks by, puts her hand on his shoulder, and into your ear, forward as she whispers, she goes, "I'm staying upstairs, second room on the left," and just leaves.
Did any of us see that?
Make a perception check.
Oh, it's a bad roll.
But you see everything. Why are you even rolling?
It feels pretty public.
15.
You got like fucking Mad Eye Moody's eye where it's just like on me the whole time and the other one's just doing its own thing.
Actually, Caduceus just from his passive
I was gonna say
perception.
my
would have seen
passive's
this.
pretty high. Yeah.
Would you roll?
15.
15? You see there's like a momentary pause as she walks by. And just like the hand on the shoulder, and that catches your attention. You can see the lips move and can make out the essence of the conversation. The rest of her crew slowly kind of gets up, and some of them stay to drink, some of them go out to find their way in the night.
I need to pee. Anyone know where the bathroom is?
Pretty sure it's anywhere.
Outside.
You do recall walking through the city, a number of individuals stopping at the edge of the docks and just pissing into the ocean.
In Halfling, I will say to Beauregard, hey, don't you think we should go talk to that Allison person?
I was already on it. I respond back in Halfling.
Can I tag along?
Jester. Do you have a pen and paper I can borrow?
She asks in Halfling.
I don't understand what. I don't understand.
Sorry, I got caught in my language loop. Do you have any pencil and a paper or pen
Oh
and paper?
yeah,
ink?
well of course I do. I always have a lot of stuff on me.
Just
Here
like
you
a
go.
scrap. Thank you.
We've grown up, are we, anybody?
Scribble. Meet in the alley on a piece of paper. Is there an alley? I'm assuming there's an alley behind
I mean,
There's no streets. It's all alleys.
it's entirely crafted of alleys. No, I mean it's not very jam packed around this particular tavern / inn, but there are some nearby buildings where there are alleys. This place is kind of surrounded by streets because it's right there on the front near the shipyard.
Meet in the back alley. To be specific.
Vague directions.
Okay, and what do you do?
Will you go with me to the ladies' room so we can powder our noses together?
Sure. I love a good powder.
Let's go powder. And then as I walk out, I just shake Alice's hand and say, nice to meet you. And palm her the piece of paper that's folded very tightly.
Okay. As you take her hand, she like pulls back. And you get a closer look at her now, you can see that there's this like heavy scar over one eye that keeps the eye mostly closed. You can see there looks to be a ruined eye beneath there that's healed over and is not functional. But she wears it proudly as a point of intimidation, or at least a badge of whatever gave her that scar.
Sure.
As she pulls back a little bit, you know, kind of her other hand going towards a dagger on the side that's now revealed from behind her coat. You palm her the note, and she looks and takes it.
Give her a wink and walk off.
She crumbles it with a kind of a terse look and lets it fall to the ground.
Ooh, cold.
I go. And walk out.
Love it.
She'll read it, right?
Where's the bathroom?
I'm gonna get some air. My God, you people.
We just walked across the whole place. I haven't seen the bathroom once.
Let's go around to the side of the building.
Oh, we're just gonna take a shit in the alley?
We're 100% gonna take a shit in the alley.
Oh, cool.
It's just
Oh, here comes the
go deeper.
I hope.
All right, you guys walk out into the cold night air. The heavy mist has fallen across Darktow, and you can just barely see beyond the outskirts of the city where the ocean begins. You can still hear the waters kind of coming in against the rocks on the outside of the island, but you cannot actually see where the water connects. Beyond you can just see the outline of the ship's masts that are set at the edge of the shipyard that are vanishing into the mist that surround you. What do you do?
I go towards the back alley.
Okay, you find what would be considered an alley behind the Inn and Tavern.
I show not where to take a shit. And I wait either for the rest of my friends or for Alice to eventually read the damn thing out of sight of me.
I thought it was Allison.
Allison.
But she's on a nickname basis already.
Yeah. Maybe that's why she didn't listen to you, because you called her the wrong
One of the cool
She's like, we're not there yet. We're not fucking Alice
Half
yet.
of the time.
It's so pretty.
But it's super awesome.
If she comes out here, what are we gonna say to her?
I want to figure out what her beef is with Avantika. Maybe she can be our key.
She's gonna ask who we are. What do we tell her?
We can tell
We're
her.
disgruntled members of her crew? Yeah. But then, what? She could turn us in. That's terrible. We should say that we're...
We can get information from her first. We don't have to necessarily always give information up front to get information. And we can always lie.
I'm not good at that.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're very charismatic. We're gonna be fine.
I feel like that's slightly underhanded.
No, I was just. It seems that way because I'm making a face because I'm halfway through a dump right now.
I don't break eye contact.
We got this.
We got this.
Oh, the hand touch! No! No!
I'm ready.
All right.
Maybe that is better.
We've reached a new level.
Maybe that is better.
All right, I'm done. Hand me that dead cat.
And here we have
Wow.
the direct connection from campaign 1 to campaign 2. Sam has taken a shit live with both characters in narrative. Congratulations.
You're welcome.
What are the rest of you doing? So good news is you went out for some fresh air.
I went out. I'm just sitting in. I'm just standing by the front door, bouncer-like, and just trying to get my bearings, take a look around, see what the vibe of this place is.
I'll come join him out front.
Chester?
I'm staring at this milk that I ordered, and it's really disgusting. And
You're not going to drink that, are you?
No, it has lumps in it.
Yeah. Well, it's a lumpy place.
Yeah.
You doing okay? You seem a little off to me.
What? I seem off?
Yeah, you seem distracted.
Oh,
Around this woman. You seem distracted around this woman.
I just, well,
Bless you.
Cute.
bless you. Sorry. I don't like her very much.
Or is it because she's a murderer?
No.
Oh, I don't like that part about her.
Oh. But we're all kind of murderers sometimes, aren't we?
I don't think that all of us are murderers.
No.
Are you a murderer?
I mean, we have killed some people.
Yeah, but that's a very specific thing. You know, if your life is in danger, that's one thing. You know, if something happens in the heat of the moment or there's danger in both directions, murder is premeditated. That's a very different thing. I find it hard to believe that you have killed somebody with premeditation. I could be wrong, but...
No, I don't. I haven't ever done that. I've done some pretty shady stuff, though.
That I believe.
Have you done some shady stuff?
Yes, I have.
Have you done stuff that's piratey before you were a pirate?
Yeah, sort of.
What's the shadiest thing you ever did?
Oh, well, Not and I have robbed people, for sure. People with not a lot of money so that we could eat.
That's okay, though.
I have that thing that we did to you when we first met you. You know, we turn coins, we turn one thing into another, and then we go stay at an inn and buy food, and then it turns back into pennies. And, you know, that's not so good, but, you know, when you're starving.
But it is a really cool trick. They got to see magic.
They didn't know it, though.
That's true.
That's
it all balances out. You've done really good things, too.
Yeah.
Do you want some of this lumpy milk?
No. Do you want any ale?
No.
No. Boy, this is quite a predicament that we've gotten ourselves into. How the hell we were visiting your mother. Your mother was so lovely.
I know, she's so nice. And now we're pirates, and I'm never going to see her again.
That's not true.
It's really possible, Caleb.
Well,
what if we can never go home?
We'll get you home. You know, we're here. This is Ford's thing. We are his support. We're here to help him out. And then we'll get out. You know, Beauregard and I don't want to be here forever either. I don't think. I know that I do not want to be in this place or on the sea forever. It's interesting.
Not definitely doesn't want to be in
Not is like a cat clinging to the ceiling. She's like a cat on the hot tin roof.
I think Caduceus doesn't like the water either, basically, because it tried to kill him a few times already.
Really, none of us like it here, but Ford kind of.
I don't even know if he likes it a lot.
No, there's parts of it that he likes.
Like Avantika.
I don't know. You're sweet on him, yeah?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It feels funny.
How do you mean?
Well, you know when you really like somebody, but then you start to know them, and you go, do I like them, or do I like what I thought they were? And then you don't know.
I think so.
And then you think that they are flirting with you, but then you find out they probably weren't, you know?
Or just saving your life.
And so you feel like kind of sad about it. And maybe a little stupid?
That's a little out of my realm of experience, I'm sorry.
You had a girlfriend before, though, yeah? You said her name when we were dancing. And then I put you to sleep, and you said her name again.
I don't forget anything.
Was she pretty?
She was handsome.
Was she a boy?
No, I said she.
Oh, okay.
She was handsome.
I'm trying to get an image of her in my brain here.
Yeah,
Did she have like a really good nose or something?
the best.
Really?
For me.
You're mysterious, Caleb, you know that.
It was a long time ago anyway. Let's just focus on getting out of this place away from that woman.
And now she's saying we all have to take the same boat. How are we going to get away from her?
Is there anyone paying attention to us?
Make a perception check.
Where are you guys talking?
Just literally right there at the table.
Oh, never mind.
Or like just leaning
Yeah.
at a table together. Very low. Elf.
11.
11? Okay. I mean, the crowd's pretty vibrant around here. You quick glance around you. You don't see anybody specifically paying attention or interested.
Well, I don't care. I'm pulling out the wire and I'm putting it in my mouth. We'll take care of her if we have to.
Are you okay?
Yeah, just a cough. Cold. I want to get the hell off this island eventually. But we're here now. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow we find some books.
Yes, we'll find. No, probably not. But we'll get sorted. We'll make the best of this place. We'll help Ford figure out his shit.
Yeah.
I suppose.
That's important to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll get out of here, and then you can reassess.
Okay.
Back on dry land.
Yeah. Thanks, Caleb.
Thanks for not leaving me on the street like a drunk.
I thought about it. It would have been pretty funny for you to wake up, but I like you more than that. Are we sleeping on our boat? Where should I go?
I think we'll probably get a room somewhere here. Is this place an inn or a tavern? I did not even look coming in.
Glancing now, looking to the back, you can see there is a staircase that winds up to a secondary floor. And it looks like there probably is lodging.
Did Avantika leave or did she go?
Avantika left for the moment.
Probably to secure the tings.
Probably to shit in an alleyway.
I have
You're out front, right?
I'm sitting out front doing. Yeah, I'm doing the door.
Yeah, what are you guys doing?
I guess just sitting in here for a while.
Caleb? Okay.
Just drinking until people reconvene.
I'll put my hand on Caduceus' shoulder. How you doing?
I think I'm doing all right. I'm just contemplating where we're going from here.
You seem a little more at ease, and I'll just lean in a little bit.
I am a little more at ease.
You do much drinking in there? I'm not really getting the, fumes on your breath.
I've only gotten drunk once in my life.
Really?
And that was because of not.
Is there a reason for that?
I thought I'd try it. Didn't agree with me.
What happens when you drink?
Everything hurts, and it's violently offensive to the body on every level. It's just that stuff's disgusting. Just awful.
But you had stuff in your cup, right? You don't have to fake it. You just...
Well, it feels polite, and not everybody's as understanding as your friends,
Right.
And so I just sit in the corner and I listen to everything that I can for as long as I can, and it got a little noisy in there, and thought I'd get a little air.
Anything popping up on that special radar of yours?
Oh, yeah. This place is dangerous. She's dangerous.
Yeah, that she is. Should we grab the others and go explore for a bit?
I think that's a good idea. And, Ford, you know why everybody is doing this, why we're all here, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think.
I think you know. I just wanted to point it out, because, that woman, she doesn't care what any of us want. I'm sure she'd be interested, but it's way low on her priorities, and I don't trust anybody who puts other people's needs that low on the list. And you should keep in mind of that while you're getting in bed with them, so to speak.
Is anybody out here in earshot? Just a quick look around.
Outside at the moment, no.
Nope.
Yeah, listen, about that. Let's just keep it right between the amigos, all right? Just because.
What part of the body is the amigo?
No, that's us, right? One amigo, two amigo. You and I are
all right, yeah.
amigos.
Okay.
and it'll be like our thing. Like it's, you know, like we're bunkies. We share like
amigos. We share amigos.
Yeah. No, we're not going to share amigos. We are the amigos.
Oh, well, that's okay,
right.
That's even
Sharing
better.
amigos is a whole other.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I get it, but I'm not going to talk out of turn, and I trust your intentions. So.
Well, actually, that's what kind of wanted to talk to you about. You're real good at picking up on little things, yeah?
You're asking if I can tell that you're conflicted?
No, I think that's pretty clear.
You'd be amazed, but all right.
I'm just letting you know I'm trying to keep her close. I feel like this whole thing is just getting a little out of sorts, and the best way to maybe keep a small finger on the pulse of things is just to...
Sure. I'm so glad you put it that way. You're a good man, Ford, so just be careful, because I imagine it's a little out of character being honest and truthful with somebody in a deceptive way. You can muddle a good man up, whereas it doesn't muddle a bad man up.
Yeah. Haven't been very good at it so far.
That's one of the reasons why I like you.
Thank you.
Here for you, man.
All right.
I've been learning to swim.
Where there? Yeah, more of that to come. Where's the rest of these chuckle fucks?
Oh, two are mysteriously vanished. I think they were mumbling something about trying to find an alley.
Not will you stand guard now? Because now I have to take a shit.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been that long.
For the record, you guys do
Oh
wait
my
for about
God.
an hour and a half, 2 hours.
That's a lot of shit.
No sign of Allison.
We should go
We don't
back
go
in?
that. I mean, like, we don't take
Yeah,
that long. This
yeah,
is like,
I do.
I think 30 minutes is like.
Right,
an
I'm
hour.
just letting them know. Like
Oh, the guys
that's
back.
how
Oh, yeah.
that's how long they would wait before they know that she's not coming.
All right, I guess we'll go back inside then.
Take a luxurious.
2 more minutes.
Sure. Do your business. What
Head down, huh?
What do you think of our pirate vessel so far? Of our pirate mission? Are you having fun?
You're in your whole person. Here we go.
If ever you're going to squat on that chair in a perch.
Okay, what was your question?
Nothing. We can go back.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
And release.
All right. You all make your way, gathering once more in the bloated cup.
That's where you're supposed to go. God.
You look under the table.
Right back around. Oh, man.
I love you so much. You give so much. You give so much.
All right. So what do you guys do?
I want to take a night walk.
Night walk. Night hike.
All right.
want to take a night walk. That's not a song.
That's a traveler song.
Yeah, let's go for a walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll poke our heads back in and go like, we'll wave them out.
Let's. The crew should also probably have some place to sleep. Let's make sure everybody's.
We can go back to the boat, right?
Are having a bad time. What do you guys want?
Orly seems to be kind of playing the mother hen, with Marius playing assistant to that.
Mr. Orley, we feel terrible about everything that's going on. We want to make you guys as comfortable as possible through this deeply inconvenient situation we've all found ourselves in.
I would be lying if it wasn't deeply inconvenient.
Appreciate your honesty.
Nope. Ask him about the diver's grave.
What would not be an
I
insult?
hit his hand. High five.
Like that. I know that would be an insult, but what would not be? How many kids are here?
If we're staying behind, I'd say give me about 100 gold to watch over the nest around here. And when you return, you'll hopefully understand. Perhaps you might be coming back for us.
Oh, without question.
By their
We
loyalty.
now return whatever was not spent.
Oh, that's
I've
a
got
good
50 gold
idea.
on that.
I'll get the other 50.
Thank you, kids. We are, unless something goes tragically wrong, we expect to be returning, and I imagine you'll hear word if things go tragically wrong.
Marius kind of comes in and goes,
Right now, hoping no tragedy. Just come back and get us off this fucking hellhole.
Well, if we don't come back, can't you take the mistake and go home?
If you don't come back, I don't know.
How long do we expect to be gone for?
Give us 24 hours.
travel
please.
from here to there and back, about 4 or 5 days round.
2 weeks. If we're
it's-
not back in
if
2
it's
weeks.
2 weeks, the ship is yours.
All right.
Hopefully that ship is ours in like 48
Well,
hours, right?
I wish you all
We can have a conversation.
much luck.
I appreciate that. Hopefully you will not have to play a funeral dirge for us.
I'm hoping that is never the case. Guess I'll just make some coin in the intern.
That's fair.
If I may, Orly, you seem to be very familiar with the Diver's Grave and the song. Do you know anything more specific of it and creatures that might be in that area, things to look out for?
I mean, standard deep ocean folk.
Deep ocean folk.
Mermaids?
Sharks. Other underwater beasts.
What's a mermaid?
Perhaps mermaids and other such dangers.
How many teeth does a mermaid have? What is that? That's
Mermaids are part pretty people and part fish people.
those are both very dangerous.
Well,
Yeah.
Any good things about the area that you care to share?
Probably some worthwhile loot there amongst the sediment.
all right.
Any idea how long ships have been going down in that region?
Oh, few hundred years, maybe.
Is there some sort of weather pattern or natural phenomenon that is responsible for this?
No, ships go down all over the coast.
But there aren't creepy stories about every inch of it, is there?
There are quite a number of creepy stories on every part of this here coast.
Fair point, fair point.
Do you know how deep it is to the bottom there? Is it deep, deep ocean or just medium ocean?
Can't say I do.
All right.
All right.
My apologies.
Thank you for your time and thank you for your trust.
Come back.
Working on it.
All right, who are we missing?
Night hike. We're all here.
Why are you guys wiping your hands on your pants?
Don't worry about him.
It's fine.
Okay. Who wants to go explore?
Let's go.
Let's go explore.
What are we looking for? We're just taking it in? Or
We're looking for fresh air.
Yeah, I mean, I figured we'll use the night to our advantage, kind of acclimate a little bit.
Let's take a walk. Let's see what there is to see. I'm kind of excited about this.
learn the city?
Yeah.
Yasha leans and goes like, if there is any trouble, should I?
Oh, well, if there is trouble, let's try and resolve it. Well,
I trust you. Just
Gauge it as it comes.
yeah,
Just tell me when you want.
Yeah.
the judge will do. It's so intimidating when she says it like
It
that.
really
Can
is.
I have taken,
says
I'm
anything.
assuming, a short rest and heal up from my fight while we were all chilling here?
Sure.
We should get a wig for the judge, like the Plank King has.
For the sword?
Yeah.
A wig.
Just throwing it out there.
Sort of like a golf club cover.
Like a tea cozy. A sword cozy.
All right.
Little curls.
You guys
Let's go on our walk.
leave the tavern.
I guess up away from the docks.
Okay. As you exit, Caduceus, you notice this. But Jester, as everyone's leaving and you kind of to the back of it, you feel like a hand kind of grab your arm for a minute. You look over to the side, and you may not have noticed it earlier, but Vera had been in the tavern vicinity. And she just kind of pulls you back from the rest of the group for a second and looks you in the eye with this kind of intense stare. You can see the wrinkles on the sides of her face kind of pushing into this tight crow's nests on each side. Her iris is bloodshot. She goes, "He would not be the first she's left on ruin. And he would not be the last. I would take care of him if he cannot." And she releases you and kind of spins around and walks off to her room.
Did that feel? I caught a bit of that, right?
You saw them discuss, but
all right,
you weren't.
Fine.
And the point of like chopping and looking, you wouldn't have made out the words necessarily. So, you guys are here in the open night air. Now a few hours, you're pushing midnight here at Darktow.
It smells like poop out here.
Yeah, I'm checking the bottom of my shoes. Like, what did you step in? Why is it?
The sea breeze. At night, it's a land breeze.
Actually, I have to stop really quickly and use the bath. There's these little outhouses over in the corner right here that just drop straight in down into the
outhouse campaign. Too.
It's very well. Yeah.
Here we go.
It's like the Tower Bridge. So, yeah.
Is anyone on the streets?
Yeah, and how well lit is it out here?
Who's watching?
It's pretty misty. There are not heavy clouds in the sky, and the moon seems to be not a full moon, but it's fairly fairly bright. But because the mist, it diffuses, so there is kind of this general faint moonlight throughout the entire vicinity of the town. What that does is it makes distant visibility a little harder, much like fog lights at a distance. You do see there are a number of patrolling individuals, no uniform to them, but they would just walk around torch in hand, kind of just looking through the streets, keeping an eye. They're armored, but haphazard and no uniform.
This is the revelry.
Everyone here seems to be part of the revelry, including yourselves now.
Your hands on your coin purses.
Okay, if we're going to talk about these things,
yes,
let's use some code words.
Okay.
Don't say her name.
Yep.
Say a different name.
Like
Tiffany.
Yes, Tiffany.
She's kind of like a Tiffany.
Okay, Tiffany. And
the name of the ship.
Which ship?
Tiffany's ship.
That's the name. Tiffany's ship.
Tiffany's ship.
Okay.
Is the name of Tiffany's ship.
Good.
That makes it clear.
How will they crack this if they hear us?
That's all the code we need. All right.
And how do we reference the?
We call it the.
That is
the apricot.
The apricot.
The apricot.
Anything else before we get into this?
Wait, is the apricot?
Nope.
This, or is the apricot the tiny Tiffany ship?
Nope, it's this.
It's this.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the tip of
Your
the tiny
heart,
Tiffany ship.
the apricot is your
tiny Tiffany ship. It's tiny Tiffany's.
It's the tip of the tiny Tiffany ship.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
So,
we're gonna
how will we deal with Tiffany?
Holy shit!
Which one's Tiffany?
Yeah, let's walk and talk.
We're
about
walking and talking.
We're walking and talking.
And I'm keeping an eye open for every suspicious looking
Tiffany
asshole.
can be invisible though, you guys.
Yeah, but
Everyone do this.
Tiffany doesn't know that we're talking about her.
And she went to bed. She's
I'm
fine.
going to keep an eye out to see if the mist ever parts around us.
Okay, both you and Bo make perception checks, please. You're both keeping eyes out.
Come on.
She won't know we're
I
talking
mean,
about.
technically, I'm.
She won't know we're talking about
Okay.
because we're using a name
go
Tiffany. So she's not even gonna know.
26.
Okay. So you're keeping a gauge on any of the wandering, patrolling guards to make sure as not to speak too loudly or in the presence of anyone. It comes to a conversation, either shifting temporarily or coming to a lull and walking by in silence, but you manage to kind of snake your way through a relatively quiet town beyond the various taverns this late at night.
A lot of like storefronts or things that are closed up for the night.
You do wander through what you assume to be the Sundry Square eventually through this wandering, and you can see there's kind of a makeshift pavilion where it's dotted with tables and crates under like ratty awnings and canopies, but it's all closed and dark. There's no lights, and it looks like none of the materials for sale are left behind. It's mainly just a structure, and then materials are probably brought there in the morning and then placed out for a trade, sell, or whatever.
Don't you think it's weird that someone would be a pirate and they would come here because they were a pirate and then they just change their mind and decide to be like a shopkeeper here instead?
No. Maybe they were looking for a new environment and they found exactly what they were looking for.
Maybe they thought they were tough and strong and they were not as tough and strong as they thought, so now they sell rope.
I mean, it feels like a farmer's market. It feels like certain people sell things whenever they got them.
Maybe there are 17 for a 19.
12.
Did you roll a 12 cider?
You do know Darktow, before it was taken by pirates, about 45 years or so beforehand, it was just another city of the Clovis Concord. It belonged to the Menagerie Coast, and it was kind of one of the central port stops for a lot of the trade routes making their way to the coast. And then when it was taken by the Revelry and they reinforced and made it defensible, they didn't just slaughter everyone there because they weren't there to just kill everyone. They were there to just take it over. They killed those who were, in their opinion, incorrectly placed in charge and needed dissenters, and then anybody who agreed to join the Revelry, join or die type circumstance, everyone who previously lived on the island were just absorbed into the Revelry. And some of them have continued their life there. Some of them, like their bloodline has continued to be, those that maintain other forms of business. Not everyone is technically a pirate. There are a lot of members of the Revelry that are just civilians of Darktow and maintain the island.
There was a lot of assimilation here.
Like Orlando.
Sure.
Not everyone's a retired person or a college student. Somebody's got to actually clean that place up.
We love you, Orlando.
Yes. I really do. I have plans.
Good plans. That's your next plan.
Taliesin has plans for you, Orlando.
Deep plans.
Okay.
If I may.
Okay.
Here's our options.
Here it is.
Do you have a PowerPoint?
I don't, but I've been thinking about things.
How drunk are you?
I'm lit. I'm tight. I'm a little tight. But feeling good.
Amigo.
Feeling good. Our intent is to get off this island without Tiffany, correct?
Well, I think it's less about getting off this island without Tiffany and more about getting to that shipwreck before her.
I think that's the highest priority. The only thing that we haven't discerned from Tiffany is if she knows where the next...
Apricot?
No, yes. No. We know where the apricot might be, where the next apricot tree might be.
Apricot tree.
Or fruit stand. I like it.
So, here's our options. I'm just putting them out there. I put no weight on any of them. We can follow Tiffany tomorrow as she goes about her day. We can get in touch with this Allison person.
Bitch.
Follow her. I know, right?
If you used the right name.
We could talk to some of Tiffany's crew, right? Boulder Gut seems dumb.
You shouldn't use her real name.
Sorry.
Yeah. Wow.
Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Seems dumb. And also the former quartermaster, Theodore Roosevelt. Then there's this Saurus fellow, right? I don't know. He just didn't seem like he would be a
I don't think he'll be
fault of any
coming
knowledge.
with us,
I like him.
We can sabotage Tiffany's ship. I don't know what that would do because we need it to get off the island. We can frame Tiffany for some crime against another pirate. We have a signature from Tiffany in a letter that she wrote. We have, that is all that we have.
Well, she's not currently at her ship. I'm assuming a lot of her valuable information is locked away in her captain's quarters somewhere on Tiffany's ship. If we can get the information to the next apricot tree, then do we need Tiffany anymore?
I just remembered.
What?
Well, I have this new spell that the Traveler was telling me about. And it lets you pop in somewhere that you you can just pop in, and then you can bring somebody with you. It's like a doorway.
And you could pop in where? To her ship? To her
Pop
captain's
into her
quarters?
Office.
On the ship, on the Tiffany ship.
How far away can you do a pop-in?
That's a really good question. Let me think about it. Hey, traveler. How far away can I use this spell? 500 whole feet, he says.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of feet. So many feet. So look, if I've learned anything about important people, it's that they can't resist putting shit down on paper. I guarantee you there's something in her office.
I don't
If
know
we can
how
just
I would get out of it once I was in there, though, because I can
you
only
only go
use it
once?
once. But I suppose...
You can just leave.
But wouldn't somebody be keeping watch on this ship, though?
But it's our ship. We work on the ship.
Do we have like do we have credentials? Do we have like badges? Like beep beep.
No. Well, I can tell you that her quarters have like a balcony.
Oh, can you?
We could also potentially send Frumkin with a note or letter.
Do what?
Leave it. You were talking
like
about
plant something?
Yeah,
I think
if I
she's
want to.
I want to get something.
Rifle through her
To
stuff.
find something and take it.
Through her stuff.
Yeah, because if we are planning to leave without her, that means that she'll give chase. I mean, I hate to even suggest it, but I'd rather not have someone hot on her tail.
Also, this leads me to a question I have, which is instead of discussing the short term, which we want to do, I want to ask you about the long term. If we ditch Tiffany and we find the apricot tree, what happens then? Like, what is your plan with this apricot? I think we have ideas about what could come from it. She's done what she did at the first tree, and you go to the next tree, and maybe she races to it. Like, what happens next, Ford? Like, I know you're curious, but what is
Should
the
we be
plan?
using your name, or should we call you something else right now, too?
We call him Honda.
Honda.
So many nicknames.
I'm
Well,
really lost.
as Honda, I would race to the apricot and seize it so that she can't pick that fruit. Keep it for ourselves in our fruit basket.
Yeah.
And make off and decide if we're going to make marmalade later or not.
Do you know how at the first tree an apricot was picked,
It's not good.
and then
Marmalade.
things shook, something happened there.
Yeah.
So, and this place was all about drei, the number 3. So you want to go pluck another fruit, and that's 2 out of 3. And what happens once the third?
We actually don't know where the other tree is yet. That's the thing. We just know where the fruit is.
And personally, I feel more comfortable with Honda controlling the supply of apricots than Tiffany.
Well,
they are in season right now.
I am not telling any of you, especially you, what to do here, but an alternative plan is to get rid of anyone who knows about the location of the tree and bury the tree.
The tree we just came from, or the tree that we're going to?
So if we do that, we might need to ask Tiffany if she knows the location of the tree, because it hasn't been brought up as of yet.
Fuck asking
where the-
Tiffany any questions. We just break into breakfast at Tiffany's and get the information that we need.
That was a long walk.
It was a long walk, but we're all on the same page. Okay, are we up for a little B&E?
Hey, this is my specialty.
In real life or the game?
No comment. I plead the fifth.
Would we be using the fancy doorway?
I think to get in.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't you have another way to make a door?
Well,
That's an
yes,
emergency.
But that
Not
is,
that would bring her back.
and
Well, that would be permanent.
that's the thing. She would definitely see there was a new door.
Also, you said there was a balcony, right?
Yeah.
Was there a door to the balcony? Do you think that would be locked?
I mean, there was a door. Was it solid wood or did it have like glass?
No, it had like 2 glassed doorways. They look like windows, but they open like doors and latch shut.
You could get into her cabin. You can disguise self as well, right? So you could change yourself to Vera or
Avantika.
something. Or to Avantika or
I mean,
Vera.
Tiffany.
I'm so shit! Shit!
We were doing so
Roll initiative.
But you could turn yourself into Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and you could just walk off the ship, and no one would think the wiser, or they might say, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, why are you on Tiffany's ship? And you'd be like, bitch, I work here.
And then why are there two?
I'm Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Franklin Eleanor Roosevelts, and then you're two people on a ship, and you're involved in things. And I mean, it's a good emergency plan, but you can only go once. You can't go twice.
I can't go twice.
Well,
I can just do it once.
What if some of us kept Avantika busy? Oh, this is difficult.
If a few of us were eating apricots at the time.
What if Ford keeps Tiff busy
Honda.
and you, man oh man.
Honda keeps Tiffany busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if the green guy and the gal are busy? You follow?
Well, I mean, do we need to have Honda distract Tiffany? Can we not just do this right now while she's theoretically sleeping?
Let me finish the thought. You do that thing. You take your little doorway over. You do what you want to do. Then, poof, you are Tiffany. And you walk off the boat. Because Tiffany's busy.
It's true. He could be accountable.
100% busy. Not maybe busy, maybe she's sleeping, maybe she's out for a walk.
For sure, busy. And we could have this guy with Frumpkin making sure that they're busy, if you're comfortable with that. You don't have a lot of a choice.
Can you keep Tiffany busy for, 15 and 20 minutes?
I mean...
Sure.
25 if you really had to? Take a break.
I mean, with a short rest. Maybe.
It's real quiet at this table.
This is a good plan. And we're going to go in there. Oh, you're going to go in there. Do you need some help?
Yeah,
I should bring somebody with me.
This is my forte, man.
Okay, me and you, Bo.
Okay.
Except Bo can't make herself look like anything else.
But if I'm with the queen, then what does it matter?
Who's the queen in this scenario?
Tiffany. Fake Tiffany.
No, but you don't want yourself connected to this at all.
I could take the, That's a good point. Fuck.
Plus, here's the thing. Caduceus is really perceptive.
The two clerics are not going on the mission together.
I can break into things.
That's true.
And you're very
You're small.
And I can also talk to Caleb.
That's also true. Yeah.
And how are you gonna get off the boat?
I can make myself look like something.
It's true. You could be Saurus.
Isn't Ipsis
Saurus.
small? Like
Ipis? Ipis is a gnome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I could
Ipis is
be
a gnome.
Ipis.
Ibis. That's right.
I can give you guys enhanceability too for the remainder. So you can pick something, both of you, if you want to be better at something for a little while.
We never get into trouble together. I mean, this is foolproof.
It cannot fail.
Anytime we've tried to do anything together, it went off seamlessly.
This is the best plan we've ever had.
That's a natural one. This is gonna fuck us up. All right. Okay.
So what are me and Cad doing?
Well, we need someone just off the boat in case things go awry. I'll message you that we need some help on the inside.
Yeah.
And there needs to be someone on the outside of Honda and Tiffany in case he needs some help in there. I don't know.
Cad, can you go with Honda?
I wouldn't know how to help with that. But,
it'll
just you have to be nearby.
Also seems like a lot of commitment, but okay. I can keep an eye on that. And
Also, where are we staying tonight? Are we staying at the Bloated Cup? Or are we finding
Let's stay on the boat, and that would solve all of our problems.
Can we?
On Tiffany's ship.
I mean, we've been staying on it already. Don't we have quarters on there?
I mean, there are quarters on there you could stay in, yes.
Where were we meant to stay? Where are the other crew staying? On the ship or on land?
You're not sure.
Oh.
Some of them you saw found rooms up top above the tavern you were in. Others left through the night. You don't know where they went.
Yeah, it might not be a bad idea to find a room that's not at the Bloated Cup and not on the ship, just so we're not.
Have we seen anything
suspicious
around, like another tavern or something, maybe a little, I hate to say more upscale, but like cleaner?
Not really. Not here.
Something with less piles of shit behind it.
No, you get the sense that Darktow doesn't have a lot of offerings for travelers, since most of the travelers that come through here are part of the revelry, and only a few of them stay offshore. And they're the homes, you've passed a number of homes of people that live here or spend a lot of time here and have an abode. So.
Yeah.
How do you feel about rooms at the Bloated Cup?
Probably for the best.
All right. 3 rooms?
Sure.
3 rooms.
Hopefully some with windows.
Sure.
Just smells like shit there.
So we all wait until Ford starts boning, and then we start our action.
So how about this? Caleb and Caduceus and Ford, you're one team. You have Frumpkin watch Ford. You give me the word when it's good to go. I'll deliver that to Not Jesse.
This is way
There you
more
go.
complicated than I thought it was.
I don't know. I'm following it.
Alright,
Actually,
cool.
it's the first time this entire evening.
You all, I give you the signal. You guys go. I'll be nearby. I'll distract any guards if need be with my feminine wiles. And then
We're off.
you let me know if there's any emergency.
You're the runner. You're the runner.
And then I will have no means to communicate to anybody else, but you will.
We can.
Sure.
You'll be a good go-between. If we hear something bad, we can get an owl to the ship. If you hear something.
Actually, that's a good point. How far away is the bloated cup from the boat?
From the boat, it's the Bloated Cup is kind of right off where all the docks join and from the shipyard, so it's maybe about 300 feet away.
Oh, that's amazing.
Golden.
Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Famous last one.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I can also.
It might be our downfall,
False
but it's great. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so
So I'll try and be an eye shot of the bloated cup. I'll be an eye shot of you.
Honda, are you going to be able to...
look, I'll be fine. I'll just make sure she's occupied.
I'm just saying, there's going to be a peeping Tom in the room with you.
Now, what do you mean in the room?
I think we need Frumpkin in there.
No.
In what form is Frumpkin? An octopus?
Peeping Tomcat.
Is he a cat?
He's right here.
Or what is he, the little...
No.
Oh, he's been in my.
You see this really uncomfortably frazzled owl that's been jammed in a pocket for a while.
Sorry, I don't
Am
know.
I just carrying him in like it's no big?
I don't think we. I think that just if the. If
No, he can fly outside the window and just sort of peek in to see if you're...
Avantika
We don't
knows.
need
I mean,
that.
Tiffany knows that owl is yours, Caleb. It's not like it's a secret. If she's seen the owl before, she's going to know your spine.
and we don't need to actually know what's going on in there. Why do we? Why does anybody need to know that?
Yeah, I don't think so. Listen, let's just kick this thing off, and I'll toss Frumpkin back to Caleb. Look, I leave this in your capable hands.
Frumpkin has Frumpkin has had a
One hit
peek
point.
inside of her quarters after she has seen him. She did not see him the first time, although to be doubly sure I could change his shape again.
Well, I think the thing to do here. I mean, it just makes sense that is if you leave the room for any reason, we send Frumpkin to the ship. If they see Frumpkin, they know it's time to.
go.
Well, listen,
That's the signal.
If for some reason,
Yeah.
if for some reason Tiffany's on the move or something seems up, just listen for thunder. How about that?
And here I slip Caduceus a few of those
Listen.
firecrackers that I have.
Boning makes thunder.
What's
Did
the
you
source
hear
of the
that?
thunder? Yeah, is that
His weenie.
Nothing I could say would be that. So
But if we're not come to, I could change Frumpkin to be, say, a raven or something.
yeah, whatever you feel is best.
How long will that take?
All right, here we go, and I head off towards the Bloated Cup.
All right.
We had to watch the ship.
And break.
So,
walk towards the ship.
as you all begin to settle towards your directions for the evening here under the
Holy shit.
the shadow of moonlit mist within the pirate city of Darktow, we're gonna go ahead and take a break. We'll be back here in a little bit to see how
Either
this.
the best player or the worst.
I'm excited to see what the fuck is gonna happen next. All right, so before we leave, we do have our Wormwood giveaway. Our fantastic friends at Wormwood have brought this fantastic. Oh, this is some pretty wood. This is a lacewood tabletop dice tray. It looks like it's like bronze dragon hide. The way it kind of looks against the. Oh, it's so pretty.
It's almost snakeskin.
Leather inside there. It's awesome. So one lucky winner will have this at the end of the break. Just go ahead and jump over into the Critical Role Twitch chat. That's twitch.tv/Critical Role. To enter the code word tonight is pirates, plural, pirates. Enter the word once to enter. Any more than that, unfortunately, we get you disqualified. And once again, people in the U.S. and Canada only, excluding Quebec, can enter because of stupid international gifting contest rules. But anyway, we'll come back with the winner here in just a moment, and we'll see you then. And welcome back, everyone. So, before we get to it, we do have our winner of the fantastic lacewood tabletop dice tray. From my friends at Wormwood, it is Emperor Gyseric. Emperor Gyseric, congratulations. We'll get your info and get this sent out to you ASAP, but well done. Hope you enjoy. All right, so bringing us into the moment as you guys scatter to your various plans.
Such a shit plan.
So,
It's a great plan. It's a great plan.
we have Ford going to the upper floor of the Bloated Cup. What are the rest of you doing at this moment?
Real confident, real strong.
I'm staying downstairs to wait for you to either come down or for her to leave.
Okay.
I'm going to sit and probably try and find something non-alcoholic to drink so I don't have to be
That's
an
what's
idiot.
going to go down is in the bloated cup.
Upstairs.
That's where she is.
Yeah, I thought maybe they'd say like, you know, romantic on the boat, but great, good. So if that's the case, then I'm not getting into that room, so I think that I should tail this team instead, if you've got an eye on the exit to that building.
Let me see, yeah.
Shouldn't you be able to like message Nut and say she's on the move? If,
Yeah.
So maybe stay close where you can see it if she leaves.
Yeah.
Okay. Yasha is doing what as part of this?
I think Yasha is probably either with you. She's either with you or with us, I imagine.
Probably with
Leave her with
you.
you.
She's a bit conspicuous.
Yeah.
And if things go really bad, she'll be ready to help out on that
Yeah.
side of things.
I need to
If
be
Boulder
stealthy.
gets in the bloated cup, that's where Yasha is.
There you go.
I turn my cloak inside out to the inconspicuous side and case towards the docks and start casing the area for revelry that are guarding the area or potentially a good place for them to do the thing.
Make a perception check.
Somebody aiding you in that? Nope.
13.
13. Okay. Looking out along the docks, there are two particular watchouts that are assigned to that particular part of the docks, where the Squall Eater is currently weight anchor. You also see what looks to be two individuals on the deck of the ship, not holding torches, but you can see them through like kind of the fog, and like one of them kind of just walks and moves. That's what you see.
Do I see anything that looks like it could be a potentially good area for them to cast a spell without being noticed?
I mean, the docks are pretty open here. There isn't much of a place to hide, and this isn't a major shipping region. Most everything is taken off the docks and off the ships and then brought in the shore, so there isn't a bunch of errant piles of boxes and barrels, per se. The docks are pretty open.
Okay.
So the best bet would be somehow under the docks, but most of that is in the ocean, or trying your best to wait for a moment where people aren't paying attention.
Okay. I kind of block around as to not look like it's going the same way that I just came from and catch back up with these two.
Okay.
With the detectives.
All right. As you guys are having this conversation, Beauregard manages to circle back and come back to you.
All right, there's two guards casing the dock, and it looks like two of Avantika's, Tiffany's people maybe on the ship.
Okay.
And it looks pretty open. We might want to find an alternative for you guys to not be noticed as you do the crazy magic thing.
It looks open?
It's super open. 2 guards guarding the dock and 2 people on the deck of Tiffany's ship.
Getting on is not a problem.
Yeah, we can just go to our quarters or something.
To then bamf over. Our quarters in the...
Inside the ship.
Yeah. What do you
Okay.
think?
We can just be there.
You guys are gonna have to talk to guards and convince yourself on the way in, and you will be noticed.
No. We just are in.
Because it's our ship.
What do you mean?
We're talking about 2 different things here.
Please, start over again.
There are 2 guards guarding the docks. There are 2 people on the ship of Avantika's boat, of Tiffany's boat. On the you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The deck of the ship, of the boat.
It's real Soto, so we don't have to use code words anymore.
And so, if you all want to just walk onto your quarters, you will have 2 guards and 2 of our crew members who will see you walk on.
I think what Bo's implying is perhaps we'd better that we're never seen there at all.
And we're never seen at all.
Never
and you
seen,
all
not tied to
bamf
anything.
in. Unless you disguise yourself as Tiffany now. Then I would say we find a hidden place, potentially in our private quarters, in the bloated cup that you bamf into.
Is it within 500 feet, though?
Yes, it
So
is.
it's within
300 feet apart.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, let's go to our quarters in the bloated cup.
So we're gonna start the BAMF there.
Started in the tavern.
I will be nearby, near the docks. Signal if you need me.
You won't see us ever.
Good.
Here is how I would like to contribute. First, I'm going to disguise myself when it is time. Not yet, but I will make myself look like voice actor Charlie Adler. I will be salt and pepper. Yeah, I'll fit right in on the docks.
Oh, you'll fit right in the Darktow.
Yeah, I won't be in a denim tuxedo, but I will wear, traditional pirate garb.
These are tight, man. He thinks split sleeves are bullshit, too.
Yeah, they are bullshit. There will be no sleeves on this disguise. And I'm going to hang out between the bloated cup and the ship, looking like Charlie. And Frumpkin, I think I will just have a continuous circle above the whole area so I can see the guards on the boat and we can message each other. Yeah? So I'll just be eyes in the sky, Charlie on the ground.
You got it. All right.
How's a dex bonus go for you? How's a dex advantage on dex, or do you already have?
I mean, I have very high dexterity.
Could always use advantage.
Okay.
Less that could possibly go wrong. So I'm also giving them, before they go in, I'm going to be doing is casting enhance ability on these 2.
Oh, at a level.
At level 3.
Yes,
so I get 2 people.
Maybe charisma?
You're not gonna.
Yeah, for the deception.
Leaving.
That's fair. All right.
I can already dex my way around.
I could potentially jump out the window, too.
But you can't.
What are you talking about?
Are you dexterous?
I'm so dexterous.
It also will give you 20 feet of falling of like 0 damage for a 20-foot fall if I give you a dex bonus. But
I have feather fall.
now you're half of the fall.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going to give you. You want charisma?
Maybe.
That's not helpful. Charisma, unless you make a decision in the next 30
Yes,
seconds.
I want it.
Cool.
Give it to
and
me now.
you're getting wisdom.
Please.
So you have advantage on wisdom. You have advantage on charisma.
Alrighty.
And then right before you go, before you go in, I'm going to give you guys both a resistance bump before we push them through the door.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Just in case you need.
So we're up in our rooms.
For 1 minute, they can add a D4 to a saving throw.
Ooh, did anyone touch the dodecahedron yet?
Someone do it.
Not in 24
Or do you
hours.
want to do it? I guess you're already fucking.
No, I'm not.
Do you want
What's
the
the resistance
dodeca?
bump you're getting?
Is it just a general D4 bonus?
What are you using?
A cantrip.
Left in the world.
You touch one willing creature once before the spell ends. The target can roll a D4 and add that number.
It's resistance. It is a concentration, so that would override your.
Oh, you're right. Absolutely. Never mind that.
You'll know.
Okay. No worries.
Yeah, not a big deal. Be there. Thank you. I'm getting used to this concentration.
That's all good. No worries. It's a little bit of a juggle. All right. While this is all being set up.
Look at the dodecahedron.
Okay. So you go ahead and you have your
fate point.
And I, before they leave and before we all go our respective ways, I go, all right, listen. Rich people love to have safes, but they love to hide stuff in the walls of safes. Like false bottoms in drawers. Stuff like that.
False backs to safes.
False backs to safes. So, even if you get in and you think you find everything, double and triple check, all right? They love to write shit down. I'm telling you, it's there.
Okay.
He's stolen from a lot of rich people.
Yeah. She saw mail one time.
I know. It's sort of her defining trait.
That and her beautiful hair.
Wow.
Thanks.
When you laughed right after you said that, I think that was very insulting.
Was she not complimenting me?
No, she was laughing. She was laughing at you.
It wasn't.
we're
No,
ready.
I love your hair. That I wasn't laughing at you.
Just go steal from rich people.
I wasn't laughing at you. I love your hair.
Let's do
okay.
this.
All right. Well, you guys begin to set your ways forward.
Oh.
So you make your way to the bloated cup. Where do you head?
Thunderstruck.
I'll head up the stairs to the second room on the right, was it?
Do you want to knock?
Hook up pigeon.
Anyone in the hallways?
At the moment, no.
No sign of boulder gut?
Make a perception check.
11.
No sign of Boltergut.
She's an ogre.
I know.
Okay. Yeah, second door on the right, and I'll just put my ear against the door.
Make another perception check.
Shit, balls ass. Oh, 3.
You don't hear anything through the door.
Can't hear from the blood pumping in his ears.
There's a slight pause, and you hear some rustling and some shuffling. The voice goes,
Who is it?
Oh, sorry. Is the captain in?
Who the fuck is this?
Ford? Who's this?
Piss off, I'm sleeping.
Second door on the. Is there a door across the hall?
There is.
I'll put my ear on that one.
Make a perception check.
3.
Don't hear anything.
Yours.
Does it look like there's any light on under the door?
Maybe a faint bit. You hear some heavy shifting.
Hi. Boulder gut?
Just open that fucking door.
Okay.
The door comes open and you see there like crunched down in the room, like head hunched forward is Boulder Gut, who's been kind of holding vigil at the doorway. Kind of pats you into their chamber. Get pushed in. Avantika is like sitting on the edge of the bed, currently kind of just reading through a book, kind of with the window open outside, and goes, Quartermaster?
Captain.
Boulder Gut, if you would be so kind as to just keep watch on the hallway for a bit. Boulder goes, okay. And if you hear anything, don't bother.
Okay.
And she leaves the chamber and closes the door behind her. Closes the book. Sits it on a small table.
She is very loyal.
That is my favorite kind of person.
How long has Boulder Gut been with you in your service?
Going on the better part of a decade. We actually both met when I was first beginning my career.
Quite some time. How have your evenings been?
Well, very busy with our attempt to make it to Darktow and keep things organized in preparation, so lonely.
Any more dreams?
A few.
Tell me.
How about I show you instead?
Yes, I'd like that.
So you begin keeping her busy.
Oh. I see.
Or she keeps you busy, actually, would be the more
that's more
description.
Correct. Yeah.
While that's happening, so you guys are made your way back to the inn. You have it's a very, very muddied view of the ship because of the mist, but you can still make out the major details of the outskirts of it from this far away.
Okay. I don't need to be able to see it. I know exactly the spot I desire. I can visualize it because we've been in her office before.
Correct. You have.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can.
How does this work?
I don't know. I've never done it before.
Well, is there a chance it could fail? Might we die?
Never.
Do me a favor. I'm going to go outside now, okay, and keep watch. Let me know when you're on and give me updates. Good luck. Charlie Adler.
All right. the best new abracadabra.
Charlie, that's well for every spell.
I'm on my way towards the docks.
All right.
Give him the run.
Synchronizing watches. What is this?
Doorways are the tits.
What?
There's a brief moment where you feel like the air has been drawn out of your lungs. And you feel as if you're being suddenly thrust forward from behind, somebody pushing the small of your back with such intense speed that you feel like your neck is about to just whiplash terribly backward. And then suddenly you come to a stop, and you're both standing in the middle of Avantika's quarters on the ship. It's dark.
Pass without a trace on both of us.
All right.
Yes, Queen, yes.
Oh my God, that was amazing. We are secret agents. We're secret detectives.
We are amazing. We need to start looking because we only have a few minutes.
Yes. Oh, wait, I've already forgotten. Take out the wire, fold it just so. Okay. We're in the ship, Caleb.
What's the range on that?
120 feet. Can you hear me? Reply to this message.
The range on message?
120 feet.
120 feet? He's out of range.
You said I'm out in the docks. You said the
Correct. You haven't made it
boat?
there yet.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
But you're saying in between.
Well,
I'm heading a little bit further. The daisy chain.
Okay.
Yeah, because you guys
Yeah.
instantaneously traveled. He has a few more minutes before he'll reach Rady.
Okay.
So
You guys
no response.
to Bo.
No
to
response.
Caleb.
Okay. One more thing. One more
Cat.
thing.
To Ford.
Beauregard, can you hear me? If you can, respond to this message.
I can hear you.
Oh,
I've
Beauregard.
responded to this message.
We are
just in range.
inside the boat. Relay that message when you can. Bye.
Okay. Start looking. Can we both see because we both have dark vision?
You can. There's a lack of colors mostly. It's in shades of black and white and gray.
Probably figure out a way to light up the room. Are there curtains?
There look to be two sets of small curtains that are currently tied off on the sides of the windows that can open onto the
Burn
balcony.
them for light?
Oh, we should close that.
Oh, okay. That's better.
Let's sneak over and close the windows. Quietly.
Okay.
Just close them.
Yeah.
As a general note, I would like you both to make a stealth check as you go about your
Yeah.
activities.
Yeah.
Put up.
Also,
I,
they do
Oh,
that.
oh,
I'm
you already
sorry.
have advantage?
Just a moment.
Blessing of
If
the
I'm- no, if I-
trickster.
if I'm
There
hiding,
you
I
go.
do,
I
but-
give you blessing. So you get advantage.
You give yourself advantage?
Natural 20!
Whoa.
8.
18.
18.
Plus 10, because past that trace.
Jesus,
So 28, and what's your total?
24. No, wait, 34.
34. Okay.
Fuck, yes.
You both are just. For every piece of wood that begins to creak as you step, because it is a lot of aged wood that makes up this ship, it begins to. You're going to stop yourself and then shift the foot, and you manage to make your way across here without any of the wood creaking.
Does she have a
Which is a
candle in the room that we could light?
There are a number of candles. You can see that
There's like probably a gap under the doorway, a gap under there. They'll see a glowing light.
Take your cloak off and shove it under the door to block the light.
I would reveal my
I take
unmentionables.
my cloak off and I put it like next to the
Okay.
doorway to block the light.
I'll take my cloak and hang it over the curtain so it's like double blocked.
Okay.
Okay, we light
like
the candle.
Duve over the window.
Yeah, Duvetino.
We light the candle.
Okay.
I signal to Caleb that they've made it on the ship.
All right,
Okay, and I was going to say, once I'm out and about once every 30 seconds, I will lean on something, pretending like I'm slightly drunk, and I will just go into Frumpkin's vision from above for just 5 seconds to look at the activity on the boat and where those guards are, and then go out of it.
All right, perception check, if you don't mind, for Frumpkin.
Yeah.
We'll double check. Also, a disadvantage because of the mist, unfortunately.
Okay. Ooh, terrible. So terrible. It's like 6 or 7.
Okay. You can see the torchlight from the 2 guards that are on the actual docks. And they're just, one of them's kind of keeping an eye out on the water, and one of them is keeping an eye on the docks. They're kind of like, they're stationed to keep an eye out, not just on what's happening within the actual shipyard, but also beyond as far as they can into the mist for any ships that are arriving in the middle of the night. But Frumpkin cannot see the people on the actual deck of the ship.
It's all that fog.
Yeah. All right.
Does Knott's cloak unattune if they take it off?
Technically, yes.
All right. Cool.
So, now that you have the candlelight there, gently there,
We
quietly.
start searching through her office.
What are you looking for?
We're looking for anything she's written about where the last fruit tree is. The last temple.
But you're going through papers, yeah?
I'm going through paper.
I'm going to go around the walls and look for hidden safes.
I'm looking through her desk, seeing if I can find any false bottoms or anything like that to try to find secret information.
Okay. Do you want to each make an investigation check, or do you want to help one of the other make it with?
Each make an investigation.
Then both of you make an investigation check, please.
Oh, we get advantage? No, that's
No, you do not.
We get advantage on everything.
You took charisma and wisdom, so you do not.
I should. I'm gonna 19 for me.
19.
9.
Okay.
Which is like a natural 20 in this campaign.
All right. So going through the desk, the first thing that happens is one of the doors gives resistance. It's locked. The other drawers you pull open, there is blank paper, quill. Looks to be a couple of small little ink pots. The next one beneath. It looks like this has a folded piece of cloth that you kind of pull out and inspect, and it looks like it's some sort of a cover, either for the desk or something else. You're not quite sure what the purpose is. Checking under the desk, you don't find any other hidden chambers or anything that marks what you were searching for.
Okay.
And not you were looking for
something hidden safes in the wall, trap opening thingies.
All right. Glancing around, you see there is a shelf unit with a number of books on it. You kind of pull back some of the books and look behind it, fitting along the back of the actual bookshelf itself. You don't find any hidden pockets in there. There's a small cabinet underneath. You open it up, and it looks to be that there's a series of wooden and metal cups, wine goblets, and just various types of imbibement containers. Pushing through there, you do find one panel on the back that's a bit loose, and you kind of slide it off, and behind there you see what looks to be a small leather book.
I'll check it for traps.
Make a
investigation.
For this, I'm trying to. The weird like perception investigation thing for traps is like the eternal debate back and forth. Go ahead and consider this a perception check.
3.
Oh, what? What would an investigation been?
12.
You're a badass rogue.
I know. It depends. There's kind of the difference between noticing something's off, and then ascertaining the nature of whatever is off there to be an actual trap. Since you're searching for traps specifically for this one and not like noticing something different, I would say allowing this to be an investigation.
Well, it's still pretty low.
12. Yeah.
That's about right.
I know. But yeah, there does not appear to be trapped.
Okay. I will pick up the book.
Okay. You pull the book back, and as soon as you pull back, there's a slight tug on it, like something that kind of gives resistance, and ding, comes free. And a little, looks like a piece of cable or twine kind of falls to dangle from behind where it's tied.
We've been made! We've been made! Turn over the place.
Oh no.
Oh shit!
This room begins to fill with a very, very faint fume.
No.
Hold your breath.
We hold our breath. I take out the paint and I paint a hole in the bottom of the floor.
Not yet! No! Hold your breath! We gotta look around!
I'm still looking. I'm holding my breath and I'm looking. You paint, I'm looking. I'm gonna look in the book. Is there anything there?
Looking inside the book, there's a bunch of scrawlings. What languages do you know?
Common, goblin, halfling.
You do not recognize any of the languages in the book.
Taking the book.
All right, you put the book inside your pocket.
I'm gonna go over to the desk where Jester had pointed and start jimmying the lock on the locked thing.
Okay, go ahead and make a lockpicking check.
15.
15?
Oh my god.
It's not opening.
Pull it open. I just spoke.
I try to pull it open.
Okay, make a strength check.
Come on, beast.
Come on. Come on.
Who's got the toe tag? 18.
Looks like he's holding her breath.
Okay, you pull the drawer. It breaks open loudly.
Sure.
All right. So as you pull the drawer open and look inside, it looks like there are a few small, almost like jewelry boxes that are just resting inside. Okay.
Just taking them all.
You take them all.
Looking, but you can take them.
Okay. The drawer. Do you put it back?
Sure.
Okay, ship it back in. The edges are splintered. It is very, very apparently physically damaged. You also hear footsteps descending from the outside of the door.
We gotta look more. Okay, calm down.
Is there a rug in the room?
Wait.
There is a rug,
I'm
yes.
just gonna pull the rug over the hole and I just after we go under.
I'm gonna grab my cloak off the
Oh shit!
thing.
Oh shit! Oh, I do the same thing. I see him do it. I grab my thing and blow out the candle and go.
Okay. First off,
I don't need this. I don't need this in my life.
So much fun.
Now there's a permanent hole in there.
what's your constitution modifiers?
Modifiers?
Correct.
2.
Okay. Okay. With a little bit of conversation that's there, that's reduced the time. You're just now hitting the point where your breath is starting to hurt, so you both, holding it, dive down, and then what?
I pull the rug as I like go down the hole. I like pull the rug over the hole.
Okay. As you're doing this, you hear a voice going, "Hello? Hello?" And you hear the rattling of keys. All right. You guys, by the way, you're down now on the lower deck. This is where the deck where most of the crewman quarters are, and you're down in one of the bedrooms. You kind of glance over to the side, and there's a person sleeping in the bed right there, with a blanket quarter over them, just like.
I'm gonna very quietly say,
Philip.
Just wait until you hear a body fall above us.
One of the things you stole and put it next to them.
okay. What did I steal?
Jewelry box.
There's a bunch of jewelry boxes.
Can I open one up and see what's in it?
Yeah, you look inside, and there is a bunch of jewelry, jewels. It's like an actual small jewel collection.
Put the jewel right on, right on his shoulder.
And the person who's sleeping.
Yeah, just like tuck it under the blanket, like it was with him.
Just like Macbeth.
just the one jewel.
I'm gonna keep the rest for myself.
Okay, all right.
Is there? How do we?
You hear the door above open. Hey. Anyone? The person who's sleeping is like.
We're gonna crawl under his bed.
Okay, both of you guys make a stealth check.
You still have.
We still have. Oh no, that's okay.
23 plus 10 still?
18. Shit.
33, I guess, right?
Okay. All right. You both quietly duck down. The carpet just falls down. The guy comes plummeting through. Hits the wall. The other guy's goes, "What?" Pulls out a dagger towards the other guy. Immediately goes like, "What?" And he goes and starts stabbing into the carpet. Going, "What? And the guy's like, "Oh God!" Again, pushes him off and stands up. It's like, "Jesus!" And you see like there's a couple of stab wounds in his chest. Son, what the hell, man? We got Waldock, who you saw getting the tattoo earlier from from your turtle friend, is like, "Oh, shit, Waldock, I didn't know. What the fuck? Don't sneak up on me!" And he kind of like wipes the blood off on the blanket. And he's like, "Oh, jeez. What the fuck happened there?" And he looks up, like this like perfectly carved hole in the floor. Doesn't notice the gem. But it's like, "Oh, fuck. I'm so sorry, man. I didn't mean, shit, what the fuck happened?" He goes, "I don't know, it's a fucking faulty floor or something. Oh, fuck." Oh, it's like, "Well, let's get you to a surgeon or something." And he stands up and rolls over. The blanket falls over. Next to you guys, cling, cling, cling. The gem does fall. Neither of them notice it. You watch as they kind of shuffle out of the room, and the door closes behind you, or behind them, and you guys are now in the chamber with the open hole of Avantika's.
We can go back up. We can keep looking. Lift me up.
What if the poison is still up there?
I think it's probably wafted out by now.
You do also hear the coughing of the man who was stabbed.
Down the hall?
Yeah.
Just peek my head
As he has inhaled whatever had been released in the room.
I lift not that to peek her head through.
Okay. You peek up and look. The door that looks inside of the chamber. Okay. First off, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, why?
That's a natural 1. Maybe I should re-roll that one. I'll do my fate die. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's slightly better. 9.
Bad at everything.
No.
All right. So you are considered confused.
Oh.
Confused is complicated.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's gonna tell you.
He'll tell you what
I'll tell you here in a second what's going on now. You get the sense at this moment that the other gentleman, while coughing, managed to resist the effect of the fume in the chamber. You did not. But you do notice the doorway is still open. Because he just came inside to look, and across the way you see them both coming up the stairs because they're making their way up from the crew quarters to the area that near Avantika's chamber, and which is right by the deck.
Tap her head.
First, while that's happening, I'm gonna go ahead and roll a d10.
Oh no! Confused.
Here comes your.
You might go.
Oh, you can act normally, so you can do that.
Whoa!
So you do.
Climbed up and just started
I'm gonna
running
just
around.
say down.
Oh, I crouch down so not can.
Okay, so you both like head down in the chamber. They walk up past, make a saving throw again, a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom now.
Yes, it was a Constitution to see that the toxin took hold.
11.
And now it's wisdom to resist the effect. 11. That's another failure.
Okay.
So you're both sitting there quietly as they are walking across in front.
Oh no.
He watches Not suddenly her eyes go wide and she begins to kind of drool a bit and the body locks up and you're like unable to speak, unable to move.
What's going on? No.
You hear now some little bit of raised voices and you can now hear this in the dock. One of them's going, "What's going on?" And it was like, "We have to get this guy to a doctor. He got stabbed. And the other voice goes, by fucking you twat! And he's like, I'm sorry. And he's like, oh, fine. And they start leading them off the ship. One of the guards begins to kind of lead them off the docks.
Can I cast Lesser Restoration on Not? Not. Snap out of it.
What does Lesser Restoration?
I don't know. I didn't even look.
I don't know if it does anything for this.
Condition,
spell.
no.
It's a condition. It's
One condition affecting it. The condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
No, that does not affect it. So I need you to make another wisdom saving throw now.
Caleb probably has wandered close enough to the boat now and hearing.
Daisy chaining to it, I give you a signal.
Okay, that's good.
19.
19. You do manage to resist the confusion effect. Which, I was so hoping you were going to attack her.
Yeah, you just straight up be like, nope.
Oh my god.
It's been fun.
What do we do?
I don't know what just happened. This is a crazy ship.
I heard them yelling. They. How do we get off of here?
I don't know.
What should we do? We left a hole in the floor.
Let's call for help. Caleb, can you hear me? We're in big trouble. We need.
We've already went through this.
We need help. We need a distraction. Is Caleb there yet?
We've established that.
The daisy chain.
No. Caleb does not answer.
Great. Try again. Beauregard, we're gonna need a distraction to get out of here.
But now tell her nothing crazy. You know, you don't want it to connect to us or anything.
Mild confusion and panic, but don't. What? Don't.
I don't know. Maybe we can just get out.
We're gonna disguise ourselves.
Oh right, okay.
Hold on, I'll call you back.
Oh man.
What are we going to disguise ourselves as?
You were gonna be Avantika, and I was gonna be Ippis.
Are we still going to do that?
That doesn't make any sense right now,
No,
does
it
it?
doesn't make any more sense, though.
Wonder, like a drunkard, kind of past Caleb, and I go, oh, so distracting.
What if I made another hole in the floor and we just keep going down until we can get out?
I guess she's seen one hole. She will have seen one hole by now.
Apologies to my German teacher from high school. I started pissing on the docks and singing Laurencia, lieber Laurencia.
Are there any portal windows?
In the chamber, the room you're in right now? No.
Can I?
Urination. Ach, wenn ich schon wieder an Mann.
We're gonna grab that jewel that was on the floor.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Go ahead and make a performance check.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely pissing and singing.
Yes, you are.
Yep.
But not well.
I have rolled such shit tonight. That's a
So
2
sorry, buddy.
plus 3. That's a 5.
For all that you've been drinking over the past 24 hours, the tension has caused your bladder to retain everything, and you're barely eking out a sputtering stream.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll do my best to knock things over as I go. And keep
there isn't anything to knock over. These are open docks.
Hey, Macarena.
All right, you guys.
Can I stand up on the bed and try to make the hole look like it wasn't perfectly painted, like it was like broken wood?
Wait. Just paint wood there.
Can I do that though?
You can't paint
Empty
on
space?
nothing.
But I wonder if I can use one of my pieces of paper to like put on there and then make it the wood like fix it.
Okay, you do that, and as soon as you do that, the paper falls as a plank of wood.
That's what I thought was going to happen, but I just wanted to see.
No.
But it takes you a while to do that. It's a few minutes to paint the wood properly to have the effect take in, and you can mark off another 2 square feet. And that time that we're doing that, what are you guys doing?
Well, he is being a creepo. I go over to the 2 guards on the dock and I go, this drunk piece of shit over here, he tried to attack me.
One of them has already pushed past you with a wounded man. The 3 of them kind of making their way while he kind of escorts them off of the dock. So there's only 1 man on the dock left by the ship. He passes by you as well. They don't seem interested in you.
We will rock you.
So,
Rock
guy
you.
who is left, that guy is an asshole, and what's with that guy that just got stabbed? I feel very unsafe.
You feel unsafe in Darktow.
No, I'm just saying.
Welcome to Darktow.
He tried to, I think, rob me, and I thought as a pirate that I had immunity to that. I don't know. I'm just trying.
He sits in close and just looks at you real closely and goes, I don't think I've seen you around here before.
Actually, I'm new. It's great to meet you. What's your name?
B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
We're gonna go ahead and have a conversation off the docks. Please follow me.
Sure, let's go.
He kind of pats you on the shoulder and starts leading you off the dock.
You're fucking welcome. Go, 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 go.
Well, we don't know.
All right.
How's her painting going?
It's still going. It's taking a few minutes. You're still giving your distraction.
Yeah.
Travis, you're doing good.
Good show. Good show.
Good show. Good
I
show.
open the door and I'm like, is there any ice? No? Okay.
A few moments pass while you finish your painting in the wood falls. While that's happening, that moment is occurring, you and Yasha in the tavern are keeping an eye, and you watch as one of the crewmates comes like walking in rather rapidly and goes and talks to somebody in the corner that you recognize from Avantika's crew as well.
Join in really quickly. Is everything all right? Do you guys need anything? I've been sober all evening, so I'm happy to help.
I just heard word I got stabbed for some reason.
Wait, who got stabbed?
Waldock.
Waldock got stabbed, but Waldock's so nice.
I know.
Who would stab Waldock?
Exactly. I'm curious.
Where did that? Who's been? Where did you hear this from? Where did this come down from?
I saw him. He got stabbed. Like right out there, and he points out the door, and you can see him like motioning him towards the bar.
Oh, he seems okay, I guess.
And you see him like bleeding out.
Hey, here, come here. We're gonna patch you right up. Come on, I can take care of this.
Yeah.
Let's take everybody. Come on, let's do this. Yeah. How bad is it?
I mean, it's he's not dead, but for his level of life experience, he's taken a significant amount of damage, and if left, will probably eventually get infected.
I'm gonna give him like let's give him a level 2 cure wounds just to get him going. That ought to
Go
do
for
it,
it,
right?
go for it and roll.
All right, let's do a level 2. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, there we are. That's 2d8. Don't know why I'm being so fuddy-duddy about this. And do I get a special thing? No, it's only when I'm healing myself. Okay, that's 18 hit.
That's enough to bring him back. So as you concentrate on him, he kind of winces, and you watch as the wounds close
Come on,
up.
buddy, it's okay.
And there's no mark, there's no scarring. He kind of looks at the wound and goes, well, Mr. Clay, thank you very much.
Okay, you're gonna want to sit down, just take it easy for a while. I wouldn't get up for like, give it a good half hour before like be very gentle on yourself. Let's why don't we get this man to drink? You need to.
I appreciate that. You're too kind, really. And Zoen goes, see, no hard feelings, right? And he goes, and just decks him across the chin, and Zoen just falls to the ground, grabbing his side of his face.
Why don't you get that man a drink?
I think I'm gonna do that. And he gets up. So while that's happening, and that's happening, and that's happening,
Hustle at first sight for
what are you
me.
guys doing?
Okay. So I'm gonna do what I originally planned, which is to make the hole not look like a perfect hole, to make it look like it was like the planks broke or something.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. Should I do that?
They're gonna find a hole.
Leave the fucking hole the way it is. We'll leave a couple gems in the bed.
2 gems.
2 gems in the bed.
1 gem.
And
I'll break it in 2.
And then
Make a strength check.
Break a sapphire.
19.
What?
It takes you a few minutes.
Oh, come.
And you have to like take your dagger and like score it a bit, and then try and press it again. The better part of like 3 or 4 minutes trying to find the right edge to go ahead and bend and break it.
No.
It does eventually break unevenly into like 3 or 4 small crumbled pieces.
Someone was eating gems in
It's
bed.
even harder to spot it now. It's like crumbs in a bed.
Now we disguise ourselves. Yes.
We're gonna cast disguise self on ourselves,
Yes.
on each other.
Idea.
Oh, should be clear.
At least only on oneself, but
Yes.
yes,
Really
you get the idea.
We'll wrap our arms
Okay.
around each other and then disguise it on ourselves.
There you go. And taking the form of Avantika and Ipis, right?
No.
No.
I'm gonna be Keg.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
What?
I'm gonna be Molly.
Great.
All right.
Loud? Okay, yeah, all right.
In pirate clothes.
Oh, sure.
Not like in
Pirate
Molly's
Keg, Pirate Molly.
Yeah.
The most inconspicuous person of.
With a cloak over his head.
I mean, yeah, like just a purple tea thing.
Sure. So you guys are disguised
I did
as
it
Keg and
already. I
Molly.
already said it.
Yep.
Still pass without a trace. Still trying to sneak out.
Oh my.
All right.
Up on deck though, and see if anyone's
Yeah.
around.
Make a stealth check, or sorry, perception check.
You have advantage.
Oh, sweet.
Perception or what are we?
Perception.
19.
24. 22. Lies.
22. All right. The mist makes it hard to make out much detail. You do notice, glancing up, that there is an individual on the crow's nest.
No? How far up?
I'd say about 40 to 45 feet, from an estimation.
I'm going to cast Phantasmal Force. And on that person, on that being.
Okay.
What does that do?
I've never seen your eyes glaze over like that, Matt.
What does that do?
All right. So,
Does it? Yes.
what's your DC?
Intelligence 14.
DC 14. No, it did not succeed with a natural 8 plus 2, 10.
Describe the crow's nest to me.
So you see in the main mast of the ship that goes up, the crow's nest is in itself a circular platform at the top that is used primarily for keeping a watch on nearby land and details in the sea around, as well as direction. It's a vantage point for someone to keep an eye on the area around the ship, and it appears to be somebody who is stationed up there to keep an eye on the ship overnight, or at least there for as long as their portion of it was. You can't make out the details of the figure from this distance. You just see a figure there.
All right, I will make the figure think that his crow's nest has caught fire. And there's like just little flames licking around the outside of it and creeping up the sides of it and sort of surrounding it.
Okay. As you finish the spell, a moment goes by and you hear, "What? Fuck!" And you look up and you see this individual trying to bat their cloak on the sides of this before shouting, "Help! Help!"
Run.
We're gonna run.
While stealthing?
Consequences.
Or just running?
Off the back of the boat.
Okay. They have
Are we running?
they have major disadvantage to try and spot you because they're distracted by the flames.
So are we being stealthy?
Yeah, we're stealthing.
We're stealthing.
Yeah.
Or running.
No. We're stealthing.
Stealthing quickly.
Which one?
We're
Stealthing.
moving from.
You're stealthing.
We're stealthing.
Make stealth checks.
Okay.
Still passes out Trace.
26, 36.
Nah. 21.
Okay. You guys both managed to scoot over to the edge of the ship. They're on the other side. Like there's the
seaward side.
The seaward side. All right. So you're heading off.
Seaward side.
It would be the starboard
Yes.
side, since it's actually
the side away from the docks.
Okay.
correct. So you head over to that which is the starboard side of the ship. There's the ocean below you. The person's screaming up top and is getting more and more frantic.
Yes.
Put that book in the bag so it doesn't get wet.
Why did I get arrested?
I don't know.
When none of us knew about the crow's nest person.
We jump in.
Yeah, unfortunately, perception wasn't high enough.
Bad idea.
Laura. We're jumping in.
All right, you both leap off the side. Sploosh, sploosh, into the freezing
Let's try to,
cold ocean
Go in
water.
quietly.
Still gonna make a splash.
Navy SEAL style.
Thankfully, they're mostly drowned out by the sound of the screaming from the top of the crow's nest. As you both kind of break the surface and kind of glance around the vicinity, you can see some of the torches that are shifting from the other parts of the docks to come over and see this commotion that's happening. The screams get more and more intense before they end with a as this person felt there was no other recourse with the flames gathering around them, and you hear
Oh my god.
Swim away. I'll hold your hand as I walk away on the water.
yeah, whoever it was they landed, they're alive.
Badly burned.
But they're They're not doing that well. They broke something on the way down.
How's that charisma bonus working out for you?
I'm lying great.
Oh, that's
It's
awesome.
going perfectly.
You shot me.
So now the screaming is less frantic and more a pained scream, while the rest of the various watchers of the dock start making their way over. While you guys are swimming.
Wait, I'm upset. What did you do?
Just away and around.
Yeah.
Okay, you're probably following like under the docks.
Yeah.
All right, both of you guys make an athletics check.
Or he's walking, she's swimming.
Oh my
That's right,
god,
you're
that was
walking.
almost a 1, but it's not. It's a 19.
Actually, you actually didn't have to make it because you're walking.
19.
19. All right. The water as it's coming in, the waves are crashing against the rocky edge and shore of Darktow Isle right here.
Don't let go, not. Don't let go.
I won't ever let go.
And so, wandering under the docks, you can hear the footsteps passing overhead. They pass by. You guys make it over to the edge of the rocks, and with the water pushing, you manage to not be like dashed against the rocks to any point of personal injury. You manage to climb up, and need you both to make a stealth check to try and make your way back onto land without being sighted by any of the nearby guard.
Stupid Rose.
Natural 20.
38.
All right.
Fuck.
You both are. You're soaking wet.
But disguised self to where we look
Probably
dry.
a bit wet too.
Actually, yeah, because you dove into the water
Yeah,
before
yeah,
jumping.
I'm wet.
Otherwise, you would have taken the impact damage from that.
Yep. Unless you'd taken that dex bonus, and then nothing would have happened at all.
4x.
That's true.
But you didn't.
It's all good. So you both climb up in there, dripping a bit wet. You especially soaking. A lot of the guards and the torches are making their way there. Other ones are still starting to make sure they aren't losing track of their post. What are you guys doing?
I mean, just calmly walking away. Right? Are there lots more people coming?
They're coming towards the screaming and yelling, and you can but still others that are patrolling and keeping an eye. They don't like all of a sudden go, someone's yelling, everyone lose their post.
Noticeable.
No, you look great.
You're both wet.
Oh yeah, but we're disguised self, so we look dry.
That's true.
You look great.
Wherever you walk.
Do I look okay? Like my cigarette?
Yeah, I feel like you maybe are less noticeable than a purple me.
Well, you've got like a cloak on.
Okay.
It's pandemonium on the docks, right? At this point?
It's
Or
borderline,
on the
but it's
boat?
starting to calm a bit. Some of them have gotten up there and they found the hurt guy. At this point, the spell lasts for how long?
Disguise self? Or
No, the
Image.
the phantasmal force?
correct.
I mean,
For 1 minute, so it's faded.
1 minute,
now.
yeah.
So, as you guys are walking by, you hear the guards going like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "Ah, I'm hurt." He looks up and goes, "But it was burning. What the fuck?" What the fuck? And he's like confused and in pain and like lamenting why he jumped and what's going on. The guards are trying to calm him a bit, and they're now starting to think something is up. And you can see now somebody is giving out directions to the other guards. Something is definitely not right, and the docks are now going into heightened search mode.
Let's get the fuck out of here, right?
Yeah.
We're just gonna calmly walk into town? I don't know.
Okay. While you guys are doing that, Caleb, you see all this happening.
Yeah, I would have quieted down with the singing and just tried to go more low key. But I don't know what's going on, so I'm still watching the boat
Yeah,
and
make a perception
keep
check.
one eye on the loaded underwear. What's it called? The bloated
cup.
Bloated cup. Ford's bloated cup. Would you say perception?
Yes.
Still rolling shit tonight. 12.
12. Okay. You're just watching this whole thing
Okay.
unfold.
Boat. Bloated cup. Back and forth. Waiting.
You're led back to the top of the docks. The figure has their hand on your shoulder and calls over somebody else. Goes, "Hey, Waynard. Looks like we got someone who's stowed away here at Darktow."
I say, sup, Waynon.
Looks over you and goes, "What's your business?"
I'm with Avantika's crew. You can ask her if you want, but I don't think you really want to. Pretty sure she's above your pay grade, am I right?
Make an intimidation check.
4.
Great
So
fucking
sorry.
intimidation. 9.
Dang it.
9. He doesn't appear to be shaken by it, but at least he finds a bit of truth to what you're saying. I was like,
Where'd it go?
That's right.
But don't go wandering these docks at night by yourself for no fucking reason.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you afraid I'm gonna stub a toe in the middle of the night?
And he just turns around and walks away.
Bo never does.
All right, you guys start heading back, tracking this trail of seawater behind you on the docks. Eventually, Bo, you turn around and you see Molly and Keg walking your way.
And I just go, oh, fuck. I just keep walking like I don't know who they are, and I pass by them with a glance.
Okay.
Good evening, madam.
Fuck you.
There's no smoke coming out of the cigarette.
Dripping wet.
All right. You all eventually reconvene. You eventually complete your time with the captain.
I look down the stairs. Can I see Caduceus down there?
If you pass by Boulder Gut and you look down, yeah, Caduceus is down there. There's actually in like a healthy conversation with one of the members of the group.
Talking to the we're bonding, man.
Okay.
These guys are pretty okay once you get to know them. There.
Yeah, I'll come down and a drink.
A round is brought to you.
A weird night.
Hey, Ducey, how we doing?
Well, everything's not quiet on this end. One of our kids apparently got stabbed by. Well, one of the crew stabbed the other crew. I can't imagine why that happened. And there's been no word, but I assume it's just probably pandemonium all over.
Oh, good report.
Everyone's pretty happy, though. We should come down and have a drink with everybody.
Yeah, I'll just hold my cup and wait for something to happen.
Is anybody in the shit alley?
No.
We should probably drop our forms.
And dry off.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the shit alley.
Okay, in this shit alley, as it has now been deemed, you drop your various disguises.
Are we still soaking wet?
I mean, you're damp.
Just kind of like a dog, just kind of shake it off a little
Squeeze it
bit.
down. Okay.
Do you have any spells that can make us dry?
Followed this right back to the end. So that's
Oh my god!
Oh no, your weasel's dead again, isn't it?
No.
Or
Not.
What?
I have mending.
What's that? What's that do?
It's a cantrip and I can mend things that have holes in them.
Not a giant hole.
Not a hole that big. It wouldn't
Are
have
you
worked on a
saying-
hole that big.
Are you saying
It
that
wouldn't have worked on a hole that
Are
big.
you saying to me that we made a mistake?
Everything we did was perfect.
I agree.
I mean, it went according
We got
to
a
plan.
book.
Hide that shit.
You actually
It's in my bag anyway.
We got some jewels.
Oh, we need to hide those too.
These are hot ice. We got to get rid of these.
What are we going to do? If she searches our shit, she's going to know that
I
we're
know.
stealth.
Don't worry. We're gonna plant them on Allison. Everything's gonna be fine. Don't worry.
We gotta figure this out like stat.
Figured. Done. Mage hand, Allison's pocket. We're clean.
All right.
Hey, you did good in there.
You did too. You're
Yeah,
pretty
we're
cool.
pretty great.
Okay. We're gonna go into a room.
Yeah.
Okay.
Charlie
eventually-
Adler busts into the inn and sees Caduceus and just stops at the door and pulls out a little wire and says, I don't know where anybody is. We have to go to the boat now. Come on.
Who are you talking to?
To the boat.
Caduceus.
Not to the boat. Never to the boat.
No one told Caleb shit.
You saw a lot of shit go down at
they
the
said
boat.
they went up. I saw people
Hey, look,
running to the boat
right.
in danger, and you let off.
You
and
got-
pandemonium on the ship and fire on the ship.
I'll tell you what, like obviously whatever went down, I guess we're gonna just go make sure everything's copacetic back at the boat. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Just gonna make sure everything.
Okay. Good luck.
Yeah, we'll let you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll walk brazenly down to the ship with you.
Okay. As you guys step out of the inn, you watch Nott and Jester walking towards it.
Do they drop their shit?
They did.
Hi.
I'm gonna go check it out anyway.
Don't worry.
You going down there? Mm-hmm. Don't go down there.
Don't go down there.
Jesus.
It's crazy down there.
No, there's guards everywhere.
You've just you've probably approached right before they did too.
What's up, guys? How was your night walk?
It went very well, I take it.
Ford, you're sitting over and you watch them all talking just outside of the inn.
There was a little hiccup,
Shut up.
Mitchell of a one.
but we took care of it.
Who's around?
I mean, there are guards walking, or various.
I'm gonna. Do I see a commotion from here?
The commotion seems to have died down at the moment.
Maybe we should go to
Nothing crazy going on our ship. I don't see like some figures or
Make
anything.
a perception check from this distance.
All right.
I'd say with disadvantage of this distance.
Really?
Yeah.
I would never. Well, that's fine because even with 22 with disadvantage. I love this. This is the best character ever.
Glancing over, you do see, you don't see any torch-bearing guards, but you do see a figure that is kind of doing a visual pass on the deck of the ship.
I might see if there's a torchbearer walking around really quickly.
You see one that's maybe 25, 30 feet from you that's just walking through the street.
Oh. Excuse me, sir.
Sir.
Hey.
We had a little trouble on our ship earlier. I was curious if anything everything was all right. I heard a little commotion.
I don't know. It's not my jurisdiction tonight.
Well, if I wanted to find out what went down, you know who I would talk to, or
probably one of the guys closer to the ship.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm gonna go find a guard and ask him what's up.
Okay.
Hey, just throwing it out there. There seem to be a couple of loose ends that we need to tie up. Can you make us an alibi?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, suggest to someone that we were drinking with them all night, in case it's asked?
They'll know.
Oh, well then don't do that. Never mind.
Who's really drunk, though?
Hmm?
Is there someone real drunk?
I assume a lot of people down there.
Is there anyone real drunk? Look real drunk in the tavern?
Make a perception check. Actually, this would be an insight check.
That was part of our, like, crew. It's part of the Squall Eater.
Make an insight check.
Jesus. It's a natural one.
Oh, that's a 1?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like
You only see one figure you recognize from the crew.
Oh, sorry, it's a 4.
Okay.
10.
Okay. You only see one
10.
figure that you recognize from the crew, and they are recovering from a series of stab wounds and are deep in their cups.
Oh. What's his name?
Walduck. Stabby.
Walduck.
Yeah,
I,
I'm just. Yeah.
I sit down next to Walduck with another, like, drink and hand him a drink.
He takes it and goes like, "Thanks."
I go, holy shit, man. I am so sorry. We couldn't have been there to, like, protect you from these attackers. That was
Attackers,
fucked
this
up.
is fucking him. And he points over at the guy who's just like, "Stop rubbing it in. I'm sorry. You've fucking jumped in the middle of my room at night while I was sleeping. What else am I supposed to do?" And he's like, "Not stab me, asshole."
Who's the other guy's name?
It's Zoe.
I'm sorry we couldn't have been there to protect you from Zoen. What a dick. I mean, we were here all night fucking trash, so if we had only been there.
The best.
Make a deception check.
The slow creep on your face, Matt. Come on, high.
15.
15.
Could just
Could have been better.
Yeah.
Okay, you talked to them about how you sad you couldn't have been there. And you can see Waldock's
So
like,
drunk here.
Waldock's not really caring as much. It's more just like, no, it's fucking his fault. And Zoen's like, oversharing? Caduceus.
I just want to find out what was up from somebody.
Yeah, one of the guards kind of is keeping an eye over there with the torch. Yeah, it looks like there's kind of a break-in of some sort. There's a guy who was stabbed, got him safe. Another man broke his fucking leg, and he's just being taken care of.
His leg broke. Does he need healing? I can do that, or otherwise.
Sure, I guess. This way.
Okay, yeah, I'll take care of it real quick.
Brings over to the dock, and you look over, and there's a guy, you know his name is Bark. He's one of the deckhands.
man.
And he's over on the side right now. He's going like, ah, ah, and you can see like it's snapped, like bone protruded and everything.
Oh, in that case, healing world, we're level 3.
Okay, you may have to set the bone first. Go make a medicine check.
I'll make a medicine check.
Don't accidentally turn it to fungus.
Push it through the other side.
Yeah, that'll do. That's a 23.
Oh.
I love this character so much.
Listen, you walk up to him, he's like, no.
It's all right. There you go.
Oh, and he looks down and you see like there's a wave of relief on him as he doesn't have this like protruding fracture and it's set. There's still, you can see the bone. But it's much better looking than it was.
Let's give him a cure wounds level 3.
Go for it.
Or what does he look like at level 2 or level 3 to you?
With that medicine check, level 2 should be sufficient.
All right, let's just take care of this. So can you tell me what happened, son?
I don't know. I was up in the crow's nest and suddenly
21.
Whoa! It's oh my god!
What? Well, you were up the crow's nest. What happened?
It was catching fire, and I was trying to put it out, but it just kept growing and growing, and I could feel the heat, and it was.
It looks fine up there.
I know. I don't.
What was the last 24 hours for you? What did you?
What do you mean?
I mean, like, I don't. Oh no.
What?
I may have left some of the fruit that we picked up in our last stop in the kitchen. I don't know what you've been eating for the last, that's maybe my fault. I really hope it isn't, but,
Make a deception check.
Come on.
7.
7. He goes like, no, I don't think it's that. It was sudden and it was intense and then it was gone. It's fucking crazy.
I'm gonna be worried about. I'm gonna check to make sure I've got all this just in case, because that sounds awfully familiar. Do you need a drink?
Yeah.
Come on. We're gonna bring you back. It's okay.
He stands up and like he's leaning on you for support, but once he gets to his foot, it's like it's fine, and he's like, oh man.
Poor guy. Come on.
All right, you lead him over.
I'm bringing back. I'm gonna just sort of. Yeah. Bring him back and then tell everybody.
Okay. Some of the port guard are like going through the ship now. They're going through.
And I'm definitely gonna tell I'm gonna tell everyone my fruit theory.
Okay.
Because I'm down a fruit.
Well, shall we, turn in for the night? Seems like it's been a crazy one.
I'm tired.
Charlie Azar concurs.
He's very stern for Charlie.
No, it's Caleb.
And we'll all pile into one room before we separate for the night.
Okay. You all gather into one of the chambers.
We kind of stagger a bit, though. You know.
Should we look around the room and make sure nobody can spy on us? Look for peoples in the room.
Look for invisible peoples in the room.
Make a perception check.
I'll do the same. Or how about...
Fucking fuck.
Don't you have a? I was
I
about
never
to
played
say.
this game.
Isn't there a spell that?
Lucky 7.
Don't you have a spell that you can cast that solves this problem?
The room seems fairly secure.
Okay, great.
That what? Detects the problem?
Oh, wow.
No, I
Keep sounding.
What'd you find?
Good stuff.
Oh, okay.
We got a book. Well, I don't have it.
We got the book. Not found it.
Can any of you read this?
Well, first.
I look over so.
Okay. It has like some sketches in it. The language appears to be some sort of either a cipher or a personal shorthand. What languages do you know?
Whether they are, Celestial, Common, Sylvan. With my experience tinkering with comprehend languages, would I believe this is something I could
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I begin casting the ritual spell.
I know deep speech.
Was it hidden where you found it? Should we detect to see if it is magic in any way, like a trace
It was
on it?
hidden behind a panel, like a false panel in the wall.
Yeah.
If you just bring everything out really quickly, I'll cast Detect Magic on there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Just empty your pockets. Let's just make sure nobody's following this stuff.
It'll take me 11 minutes to be able to
I'll
read
cast
this if I
Detect
can.
Magic in the meantime.
There's these jewels too.
So when we were looking for letters and words and stuff, we ended up breaking her desk and we stole a bunch of jewels.
That's not as lo-fi as we were discussing.
Well, and then the room filled with poison, and then we put a hole in the floor and we fell.
Oh.
And then we caused another guard to stab someone and another guard to jump to his death.
We saw
And
them.
then we jumped in the water and we got away.
That's pretty awesome.
But here's the thing is, though, Avantika is going to definitely know that somebody stole her stuff, and...
But we can turn this problem into a problemtunity, and we can take these jewels that she will definitely know came from her and plant them on someone else to just sort of, we could plant them on this Allison person who she doesn't like already.
She is a bitch.
Or maybe on one of her own crew and have them killed.
Yeah, well, isn't Allison kind of like not cool with Avantika, and the enemy of my
that could
enemy is
be.
my friend, right? So why would we want to get Allison in trouble?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well...
Oh, wow.
We could plant them on someone that we don't like.
Sure. Yeah.
But who?
But who?
How about Jimetti Costco? I don't like that guy.
I like Jimetti. I thought he was nice.
He's
Well, maybe we just hold on to him for now. They came in containers, right?
Well, yeah, but...
I don't want to hold on.
If we hold on and Avantika's like, let's everybody empty their pockets and then we have them.
This is hot.
Are they
These are
just
hot rocks
Are they
here.
just gems, or are they specific pieces of jewelry?
They're...
We're literally
What
looking
are
at them
they?
right now.
Okay, so
I
you-
detected magic before we opened the boxes. So.
Okay. So you open the boxes. There are a series of gems, some rougher and probably been scrounged up and found that are, with some scrapes and elements, imperfect but still valuable. Maybe maybe three of them that are still well cut and have not been given any abrasions. And there is a what looks to be a dull green jade necklace that does emanate a minor magical essence to it.
That one's got a little bit of tingle to it. I'd be worried about that one. Why don't you take a look at that really quickly?
Caleb is not listening to anyone. He's
Nope,
sprinkling
he's,
pinches of salt and soot in a circle around the book.
That book's not worth it.
You could destroy these gems and smash them up into smaller gems.
We could
Put them on anybody. Vera would be a good candidate.
It's Vera. Why do you think Vera?
Well, because she's a bitch. We got to get her out of here. She's, wants my job.
Isn't that just because you stole her job? I mean,
Yeah.
that seems like a legitimate beef.
I think she's in love with Avantika, too.
How do you know that?
Because she pulled me aside and she was like, I don't like Ford, and I'll kill him if you want me to.
She said she's gonna kill him?
Perception check, insight check.
Make an insight check. Make a deception check.
I'm pretty low, so what do you got?
8.
13.
You can tell she's lying.
Okay, so maybe she didn't say that. But I still don't think she likes Ford very much.
Well, then we should roast
Yeah,
her.
we're definitely going to plan it on her. Cause some commotion at the top. Caleb, what do you got? Oh, that's been time.
He's making.
We'll say by now you've completed.
Well, it's up to you. It's
I
up
know.
to you.
I know. So you can explain.
All the soot and salt ignites, and then suddenly, whoa! What does it say?
As you go through it, it's kind of hard to follow since it's shorthand. Like it's broken sentences and pieces. They look to be notes from dreams.
Oh shit! That could be good
Yes,
stuff.
yes it could. Yes it could. It's got the apricot tree.
Please be an almanac. Sorry.
It goes through discussions of mentions of Vandrin, mentions of being given the mark, the eye on her person, and after a ritual that was shown to her by Vandrin, the dreams began. The dreams involved this great eye coming to her with phrases written down. Provoke, consume, learn, reward. Begins to discuss images that involve having to fight through dark waters, having to follow signs, being promised power with gifts and actions that show leadership and drive towards this entity. It spoke about Vandrin guiding her, and then spoke about him getting cold feet. Spoke on him mistrusting the dreams and his weakness. And it spoke on an attempt to then gift Vandrin as a sacrifice. But he got away.
So Caleb would, seeing this play out as he reads, would explain it all very carefully.
You're also memorizing.
And delicately, because he knows how conflicted a subject, how charged a subject it would be for Fort. But does tell everyone in the room everything.
And then discusses the search for Vandrin for months and months to no avail. Eventually changing focus to instead continue to improve the joyous boons and earn the yellow light of the eye. More dreams with patterns of figures in her way, people that were close to her that she felt were barricades, chains that held her back, and getting rid of them. You're not entirely certain what getting rid of them means, but at least out of the path. Finding others that begin to also learn of the joys and the promise of ruling this sea, and how no matter how much Darktow is the center of the revelry and the power of the Plank King, who can possibly not choose to bend the knee to those who control the oceans they sail on? It then goes to talk about other notes and scavenged bits, talking about the founding or the finding of Urukazel, of the difficulties in hiring people that would go there, the hiring of Jamedi to search it out finally over time. And you find some other notes about another location from another dream she had that involves 3 landmasses of different shapes. There's a few notes and questions around it, but one of them does say archipelago, question mark, and seems to mark these as a possible.
3 landmasses right there.
Nah.
She's cooked.
And then it goes into a few brief phrases about the newcomers, discussing how the mist was taken. And it's not a lot written in this book.
Which one's her favorite? Which one's her favorite?
All it says is, I found another chosen. Perhaps this one will be more useful than Vandrin.
And I fucked him.
It does not say that. And that's where the notes finish.
It was in my minor detail in Caleb's deciphering of all the fragments. Was there any sense that there was any kind of romantic relationship between Avantika and Vandrin? Or it's unclear?
It is very unclear.
Okay.
What language was that in?
What was the necklace?
It's a personal cipher.
Really?
Oh.
Now her own cipher.
That's not great
That's
for us.
not helpful at all.
Well, really, what's the necklace before we go any further to make sure it's not a come find my
Which
shit?
necklace would that be?
The jade
There's this
necklace.
gibberish.
Oh, it's my first time I'm seeing it. Not really, but I will just give me 10 minutes.
Is there any part in the book that is actually a cipher for its own? Okay.
Glancing through, it looks like it's either learned here or the whatever would be used to try and decode it is not present in the book.
I don't want to say that we're the best detectives because that's already
A given.
established fact.
Yeah.
But could this be that we just got promoted?
Not yet.
Commissioner. I don't know. Could be. We just cracked the case again.
Cracked the case, Ford. Are you as crazy as she is? Because holy shit.
Here's a question. Could Brainiac Caleb, with this book, which is her own coded cipher and comprehend languages, with enough time, try to study the recurrence of vowel sounds, consonant sounds, and try to create a key to this book?
You get the sense that this written cipher is not a verbal language. It is specifically written for her own notes and own purpose.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to, so you couldn't speak it, but if you wanted to go ahead and decode it,
right? Like people break codes.
I do. Yeah. I'm saying you couldn't. It wouldn't be able to. Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you were.
Speak it.
You couldn't speak it.
No.
Go ahead and make an intelligence check.
That would be amazing if you pull this off.
I've rolled shit all night. Every roll.
You're due one.
Every roll.
You're due one.
This one.
It's kind of true.
Natural 20.
Fuck, dude.
Rise, baby! Rise!
So what does that put you at a total?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. Straight intelligence, right?
Correct.
28.
The intelligence modifier is 8?
Yeah, I
Wait.
bumped up to 20 when I leveled up.
Well, it'd be +5 then. It's a modifier.
Not your saving throw.
Not your saving throw.
Saving throw. Sorry, looking in the wrong place. That's correct. 25.
That is exactly the DC you would have needed to do this. It is set at a very hard DC.
You had to
You
roll
only
20.
could have done this with a 20. You
And
motherfucker.
like a maxed out intelligence.
God damn it. Okay. All right. No, here we go. It'll take you the better part of the night. You probably won't sleep, which means you won't get your spells
to
back.
identify the necklace that we don't get.
Don't bother him!
What if the necklace has a trace on it?
Yeah.
It'll take you the night to complete it. You will not be able to sleep, which means you won't get your spells back, and you will suffer a point of exhaustion.
That's fine. That's fine. But I would like to, I mean, if we're loose, because I was just asking you a question and suddenly it was happening, right?
I'm just letting you know that's what it would take. You know you can do this.
So let's say the Caduceus gives Caleb the necklace. He'll take 10 minutes to figure out what this jade necklace is and then spend the night decoding this book.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Best plan.
Oh my god,
for 6 in the series,
What
and
did
you
you
crank one in the bottom of the knife.
You got a book!
It's not a book.
That's a necklace.
It's a necklace.
Oh, wow.
But you still got a book!
Immediate excitement and disappointment.
Right. You still got a book though. That's what I'm saying.
Book theme.
So here's the thing. Are we going to remove the mention of you from the book?
It doesn't name
It doesn't
him.
say the name.
It just says found someone special.
It doesn't. There's no way of inferring
chosen.
within the book that
It doesn't have the name for
Newcomers
it.
and
Yeah,
chosen.
newcomers.
but it doesn't connect the newcomers to the new chosen.
That was cool.
One could not infer that the new chosen was part of the newcomers from the way that she wrote it, or no? Is it are they separated thoughts?
Not necessarily.
All right.
What you got?
Worst case scenario is we can mend a page and it will remove the ink.
That's
If we want to delete anything.
This is like that around your neck, except it's specific to warding off poison.
That's helpful.
No poison.
That's very helpful.
Okay.
That might be
It
either.
could help any one of us, really. But would you like it, not?
It's pretty.
How,
Oh, but wait.
We're not keeping anything on
It's
ourselves.
hot. It's a hot rock.
Yeah, we're not keeping anything on our persons. We need to hide it, bury it, do something.
in the best case scenario, I would say if we could hide this in someone else's room underneath their
We
bed,
could put
that
it
would
in
be.
the bag of holding or whatever.
I would love for these to be in somebody else's
You
room.
dump that bag out or just go searching for a necklace, stick your hand in, that comes right back out.
Come
Yeah.
right up.
I say we tie it to a rock and drop the rock off a specific dock, and maybe we're lucky and it's still there later.
Or we could just old school bury it under a tree, right? Mark it.
It's still going to be
Same idea.
findable to anybody who's looking for it, though. I would really recommend putting it, I don't know, somewhere where we don't mind it being very specifically found, especially if we're trying to.
Frame somebody.
Well, I hate to put it that way, but
Well,
I don't
listen,
know.
I
This
I am all for putting Vera in a bad light, right? She's gonna is gonna want to know who did this. Yeah, Tiff, old Tiff, Fanny. Might as well put it on her, right?
Do we know where she's staying? Which room she's in?
We have to be able to have someone point the finger at her, though, because what happens if she finds it herself later?
It doesn't matter. It's still in her room.
But if she finds it, she could throw it out. She could sell it. She could say, "I found this in my room." I mean, like, that's unpredictable. We can't control that.
No, but maybe we're thinking too small ball. If you can actually make a translation of that thing, that's the frame we've been looking for. We take that to the Plank King, we're going to get all the head start we can get. We know where the other peach tree is now, so it's apples and peaches, so, you know.
Between apples and peaches.
This is, we just have to make sure that you survive long enough to get it there, although it would be, I mean, I wish you just grabbed the book. That would make life more easy.
If
I don't know.
I know we shouldn't have grabbed everything.
What, the jewels? We could just throw them in the ocean.
We could just throw them in the ocean.
Yeah.
But we could snoop. We could wait until we see Vera at breakfast tomorrow and just. Right, she's staying here.
Yeah, I think it's too dangerous to try and plant it on her. It's adding one step that we don't need.
I agree with that.
I think we take it once you're finished.
This is the key. Anything else is a distraction, can only cause wrinkles, so we ditch it. Maybe somewhere where it can be found again, but it is not as important as this book is. So we solve this, and her goose is cooked.
Yeah.
I agree.
Except, if we bring this to the Plank King, it's admitting that we broke into the ship and stole it.
We don't need to take that to the Plank King if Caleb knows the language.
Yeah, we do.
And
We
if
do.
you...
We do.
Why? She could forward anything that we want. Forge. She could forge.
Still need to prove
We
the
still need
book.
proof that this came from her, that
We
she wrote
have
this.
her signature. Let's forge it.
But that's
We don't. That's too
fake.
much.
Yeah.
I feel like we can just take the book to him. I think if we say that we knew about the plot,
Yeah.
we suspected, and we're looking for proof.
That's good. I like
a
that.
question for the group, because I don't remember. Did Beauregard share with the group that she got tapped by the planking?
She would have shared that, right?
I probably would have. Yeah.
Well, now would be the time to share it if you hadn't.
So, by the way, I got tapped on the shoulder by the Plank King. He's looking for dirt on Avantika.
What?
I know,
That
totally
solves
mind blowing.
everything.
I know you had no clue.
I don't think it does, right? As Bo has appropriately stated many times, snitches get stitches. So if we walk that in there, the Plank King might just be looking for disloyal motherfuckers to hang up by their toes. So we need to find a way to either message that, like send by via messenger with the book and a codex that you've created, and let him just be able to see the evidence for himself.
We could drop it in Allison's mailbox and say, "Hey, here's all the proof you need to destroy Avantika."
I don't think we need to do that. I think we
And
just
we're
drop it in
assuming
the
that she
Plank
wants to
King's.
destroy her.
What, did you see the way they looked at each other?
Yeah, maybe that's just they need to like get it on, you know.
Maybe we just send Frumpkin with this stuff in tow
And drop it
to
off.
his little perch
Yeah,
with a note, an anonymous note.
Yeah.
I think we copy
I like
the contents of the book.
We have a copy of the contents of the book.
Caleb's
That's what I'm saying. We
brain.
copy the contents of the book.
Like a physical copy or up in the dome.
Keep it in Caleb.
I have a copy
What? Sure.
in my noodle.
Sure.
Okay.
As long as you think it'll last there. And then
I will write it down.
I will say the Plank King offered me some good cash to rat out Avantika.
Yeah, he was asking for a snitch.
He was literally asking for a snitch.
Sure.
Now,
That seems like legit. That seems legit and honest. He was making an honest. Right? Did you get the honest vibe from Planky?
no, nothing about any of these people is honest.
I think he'd kill both of them. I think sending it with just sending it to
Frumpkin
him and
is
just
the
giving it
best
to
Well, it
him.
could be an anonymous note, or we could
Yeah.
send Frumpkin once we leave here, and you could sign it from Beauregard.
I would almost say if we could give him the whole kit and caboodle, everything that was stolen.
I know what to
bottom,
sign.
with a note saying this is the
I
thing.
know what to sign.
Spill it, girl, spill it.
Just write it up, and I'll sign it.
Who knows what it'll be?
What?
I have no
Don't
idea.
you want to
She's
share
keeping
your
us in
plan with the group?
suspense.
Though,
I'll
Bo?
just simply sign it with how much. Question mark.
To go with the package.
To go with
To
this
go with the
once I have
package.
deciphered it for them.
Mm-hmm. Unless we want zero implications that anyone wants
that's
to
kinda
know.
leads back to us
Like
just
it
a
would
little
be.
bit. I say, translate the one page, give the ciphers so that they can figure it out on their own. Let's just give the whole thing to him. Just all the jewels, all the box, the whole thing. Top to bottom.
Avantika's coming through for your throat.
Yes.
This is the evidence. Do with it what you
wanna read
will.
the rest of the book,
we go
fine.
to the pomegranate tree.
Yes. Yeah.
Same
I don't
time.
know how we get out of here, but we're gonna try.
We need the mist.
We'll be fine.
Well, we just need to wait until they apprehend her.
Then we can take her boat.
Then we can take our boat.
Do something.
We could also add to this note that Frumpkin delivers that Avantika, here is your proof that Avantika wants your throat. The whole crew is complicit.
We're part of the crew.
Oh boy. You know, okay. Here, just throwing it out there big picture, okay? Because there are two goals on that map. One is the peach, the other is the peach tree. If we go to one and she goes to the other, and let's say she gets deferred adjudication and gets out just a little bit after us, she might be waiting for us at one or the other. I'm just saying.
But then we'll face her head on.
Okay.
Let's let them make any insinuations they want, and the crew will fall the way they will. Again, I think giving too much is too much. Just the guy's itching for a reason to get rid of her. Let's just give him what he wants.
Sounds like that to
No
me.
conditions, no terms.
Yeah,
nothing
let's
to
do
think
that.
about.
Yeah.
Let's
Done.
let Caleb do his thing, and we'll see what the morning does. Where are we keeping the gems and everything else in the meantime?
One,
In the safe, maybe.
one other consideration.
The lead safe? Do we still have that?
Of course, we still have that.
In
don't
the
we?
bag?
Well, it's safe in the bag. You still have, yeah.
Dope.
One other consideration. Just throwing it out there.
Take it, yeah.
I think you still have it, right?
We're all spitballing here, right?
Big lead safe, not in the bag.
Oh, the big one you ordered? Yeah, that wouldn't have gone in there.
Yeah, but the little box that we have the thing in, yeah.
Yeah.
You know that page that you were telling us about that says the three land masses might be the Grand Archipelago?
Googie, yes.
Maybe when you're translating, that becomes 4 land masses and a different place?
We're not going to translate the whole book, just one page.
No, if she gets the book back.
Well,
how's she going to get the book back?
You do have the lead safes, the dodecahedrons in it.
We're gonna translate one page?
No, here's the thing. If we just give them a page...
No, it's gotta be the whole book.
No. He's saying we send a cipher and a translated page with the entire book.
Does that make
So
sense?
that they can then take the time with their smart people
But
to
if
translate the
there's no
rest of the book.
Cipher.
He's making the cipher.
No, he knows the cipher.
No, it's getting
will
late.
know.
I'm getting confused.
I am going to make a cipher that can be used to decode this book.
Okay.
If we send a cipher and the book, they can take time to read the entire thing.
Let's rip a few
Correct.
pages
If
out.
we...
They'll be able to tell.
Yeah, but they
Unless we do Juster's
But if it's
hint
anonymous,
where
who
we
cares?
mend a few pages and get rid of some ink.
I would mend the page that has the thing about where the
Yeah, I see where you're
peach
going.
tree
Yeah.
is.
I see where
So
you're
let's just
going.
do that.
Yep.
And the rest of the plan
Yep.
stays the same.
Yep. Make it so.
Yeah, that's good.
Break.
But we'll leave immediately.
Yes.
We are so good at this.
Well, once she's apprehended.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
We'll
I'm going to
send
get to
some
work.
food and water up your way.
Yeah.
All
Good
right.
night.
So, who's holding what?
The jewels in the containers go in the lead safe.
And where does that go?
In the bag of holding.
Okay.
Take out the silver thread first.
All right.
Are we all staying in this room tonight?
No, I'm going to my room.
Is it stupid to be like literally down the hall decoding this journal all night from where Avantika's staying?
Too late.
Well, we've got the silver thread up. She can't get in.
It's just a warning system, right? It doesn't keep her out.
It'll wake us up, though.
I'll wake us up. So who's guarding Caleb?
I'll guard Caleb.
I'll guard Caleb.
So will Yasha.
All right.
Rest of you
So you guys will
problem.
take sleeping shifts.
Yeah.
So mark yourself with 1 point of exhaustion, Caleb.
Got it.
You don't recover spells.
Got it.
The rest of you get a full rest.
Yeah, we used one. That's good.
Oh, new spells.
I attack forward, sneak attack damage.
Pretty good.
What's that? Where is that?
To each of your doors, shortly after sunrise.
What's Caleb up to?
He's just finishing making most of the cipher.
Hide that shit, hide that shit, hide that shit.
Yeah,
hide that
in the
shit.
morning.
All right, so you have to have the book to make the cipher.
Yeah.
So you go ahead and go find Jester. Are you guys in the same room?
I was sleeping in the room.
I wasn't working on the book and a cipher all at once, all through the night.
That would have been.
Yeah,
that's the process.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So you hand it to Jester to go ahead and hide.
Okay. Yeah.
Are
Sorry.
we? Is there anything in the room that
3 rooms.
that is like seems like it could be hollow or anything? Like
How's up?
I'm looking for somewhere that I can put a hole in it, hide the jewels in there, and then mend it so that it won't look like anything ever touched it. But I'll know where they
Make an
are.
investigation check. Let's do perception. Perception.
Okay, okay. New plan. Sure.
Do I get advantage still? If this was last night?
No, it lasts for an hour.
Oh, okay. 13.
13. Looking around, no, the room is shoddy in some ways, but it doesn't have large holes you can hide
Power
gems in.
sack. It's
Yeah, but if I get searched.
It's in the safe, right? It's
in the safe.
Yeah.
Lead. Should block.
Yeah, and you don't think she's gonna go like open the safe?
She can't pull out the safe unless she knows it's in there,
If
right?
she turns the bag over and empties it out, everything comes out.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, if you turn the bag inside out,
everything comes out.
Okay. Okay. What if
They're knocking.
this was last night? I was looking for a place to.
The voice comes through and goes, "Hey, wake up!"
What's going on, man? Hey, good morning.
What?
Caduceus and I will open the door to our room.
Yeah.
All right, you see Voldergut out there with one of the guards and what looks to be Willow-Wisp, who's the cook, Jeremiah, who's kind of rubbing his eyes. And Voldergut goes, "All hands on deck.
Now?
Company meeting."
Yeah, sure. Let us get our shit together.
I'll go get dressed.
No.
Okay.
Yep. Grab my stuff.
Grabbing our stuff.
Goes to the next door and says the same thing through the doorway.
Okay.
Hello?
All hands on deck. Company meeting.
On the deck of the ship?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, aye. We'll see you there in, what, like a couple hours?
Like pets you on the head a little
all
bit.
Right, that's fine.
Goes to every room and that's the same deal.
Okay, what are we gonna do?
What does the hallway look like that all the rooms are in?
Can we send it?
It's a long hallway, series of chambers. Most of the doors closed. It looks to be 4 and 4, and then there's a stairway that leads up to a 3rd level.
You want me to just throw it on the roof?
Can we send Frumpkin now with the package? Just send him now, with the window.
Right this very minute. He's a 1-ounce owl.
He needs to change.
How long does that take?
10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
You've got 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Just stall for me.
Go.
Stall for me.
What about the jewels? Should we get rid of the jewels?
The whole thing.
Send it with the book.
The next minute goes by, and 2 more figures show up, and they go, "We're going to the ship now. Gather your things. There's no more waiting. Come on."
Okay. Okay.
We'll do it on the way.
I have to get dressed. That's all. That's the thing.
You get a sense from the vocality here that things are not right. Probably relating to events that transpired through the evening.
Gee, I wonder.
Okay.
Okay.
You could just pop out of the room and meet us on the way.
Yep.
Well, yeah, they're not in the room. Do you want to
go.
pop out of the room?
Pop out of the
No, I
room.
mean Jester pops out of the room with the bag and leave it somewhere and then meet us on the way to the ship.
The haversack?
Dimension door the fuck out of the room.
But what are we doing with the book and stuff?
Not now.
It's in the book.
The doors, by the way, all of your doors now are like being held open and they're expectantly waiting.
I'm coming.
Yeah, the crew doesn't trust you, and they haven't really since you've been here. And they're not like, "Cool guys, let's go." There's very much a
we're going down.
We're getting everybody in there, and shit. There's going to be conversations.
We're going down.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to stay in these rooms.
Okay, so you gather your things, head outside. Boulder Gut's kind of keeping a watch from behind. Other members of the crew are being gathered and ushered in until eventually, and as well as the crew from the Mistake and Orly. Everyone's being brought over towards the docks.
Do you want me to like sleight of hand, throw the bag down an alley as we walk?
The whole bag?
Sure. Gotta get rid of it.
No.
We gotta get rid of it.
No. I'd rather fight over it than lose a check. Just going like, oh.
I'm super fast.
All right. Do what you
I don't
gotta
want to lose the whole
Do what you gotta do.
haversack. I do not want to lose the whole haversack.
Do what you gotta
Nope. Nope. It's got the dodecahedron in it.
Just toss it and then we'll come back for it behind a dumpster.
Nope.
No. Okay, you guys at this point have been brought to the docks now, and you're being pushed towards the direction you can see. You can see the Squall Eater there waiting, and there are a number of figures already on deck.
Is there ever a moment it looks like nobody's looking at us? Or me?
Make a perception check. You don't know. You don't see anybody necessarily. I mean, you have Boulder Gut walking behind you, and other people are kind of being ushered in.
Can I fall back and talk to Boulder Gut?
Sure.
Boulder Gut, what is going on right now?
I don't know. I wanted to sleep longer.
Too, everybody seems so angry at everybody else. Look at the ship right now. I mean, it looks crazy. All these people walking around.
I know I want to just eat breakfast.
Me too. While I'm talking to her, and hopefully when I point at the ship, does she look where I point?
Oh.
Make a persuasion check.
Look, it's a space shuttle.
As dumb as a brick.
22?
22? Yeah, it just follows your eye line over.
I reach in the bag and I pull out the jewels and I dump them off the side of the...
Jesus.
Okay.
I want them to fall in the water as we're walking.
Okay, so all the jewels come into the water. Okay. Make a sleight of hand check.
Come on. I wish I had looked at the dodecahedron this morning. 15?
15? Okay. You drop them off the side. As far as you're concerned, no one noticed.
Who else walking with us besides Boulder Gut?
Boulder Gut was in the back, though.
Boulder Gut was in the back, and there were a few other... first off, you have Waldock, Zoan are with you guys. Bark you see being brought over from another side as well. Looks like he was either stayed somewhere or was somewhere else when he was gathered up by the rest of the crew and the guard. The guard only... None of them go onto the ship, but they just lead you over to the edge of the dock and watch you all go onto the deck and then begin to kind of walk away. They're
Where's
kind of
the
essentially
book right now?
It's in Caleb's possession, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys all walk along the plank up onto the deck, and there you see there's Avantika, Vera, the rest of the crew are all there. As you can see, the crew of the Mistake are brought to the edge of the dock and are kind of held there and waiting. You guys are brought up on there.
Where's the mistake?
You don't know where the Mistake is docked. You didn't see it when you came in.
Copy.
There are like probably 20 plus ships that are all across the docks here.
Okay.
As you guys are brought to the edge of the ship.
Burning so many calories right now.
I've never felt more in
We
trouble.
gotta get this book off the fucking boat.
Stop.
Well, you're on the deck right now. The deck of the Squall Eater.
That's a sure way to get it seen.
Avantika sees you approach, goes, "Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Well, I apologize for the problems. This should only take a moment to just discuss. It appears we've had a bit of an incident overnight.
And I wanted to let everyone know that there may have been some issues rifling through. Over here, Walduck was so unfortunately shivved by one of our compatriots and shoots a glare over at Zoe, who's like, I'm sorry. But it has come to our attention that there has also been, well, to be perfectly honest, a break-in to my personal chambers. I know. Some of my personal belongings have gone missing. And I wanted to ask if anybody has seen anything throughout the night. I already spoke with a few of the crew who were here before. I have not spoken with you. Walduck, did you see anything? And Walduck was honestly like, I was sleeping, and then suddenly this piece of shit fell through the ceiling and landed on top of me, and I was just... It was the other way around. Walduck got stabbed. So Walduck goes, I was walking, and I heard some noise inside your chambers. I went to inspect it, unlocked the door, went in, and things seemed fine, but then I fell through the fucking floor onto someone, and he was sitting in bed sleeping, and he just fucking started stabbing me. And someone's like, you woke me up, what am I supposed to do? And where the fuck are we? Anyway, we looked at the floor, and somebody had broken the floor, probably snuck in somehow. And the captain goes, thank you for that. Also, it appears that Bark here had strange delusions and fell or leapt, apparently, from the crow's nest. Did you see anything in particular? He's like, I mean, it was crazy. It caught fire, and I jumped to get away from it, and there was no fire. She goes, so it appears that there may have been some sort of a distraction. Well, has anybody else seen anything of particular interest last night? And by the way, Caduceus, I heard that you were very helpful in helping our compatriots with their wounds.
Yeah, it was no problem.
I appreciate you being a team player.
Well, it looked, that leg was pretty rough.
Is this a frequent occurrence when you're in Darktow, this sort of...
Certainly not. To be perfectly honest, whoever did this does not understand the rules of the city very well.
I can... No, I can find creatures. I can't find objects.
Vera? And Vera's kind of sitting back there and nods. And, like, see her fingers kind of trace this weird symbol in the air that leaves, like, a slight trace. And her eyes kind of flare for a second, and she goes, but that is okay, because I can.
I take a bit of phosphorus and squelch it through my hand and cast Wall of Fire across the entire length of the boat between them and us.
That's what we're going to pick up next week.
Oh my god!
Next week, we pick up
sweating
in the shipyard of Darktow on the deck.
Not next week.
Sorry, in 2 weeks. Oh my god, 2 weeks! No! Curse you, Thanksgiving! Ah, on the deck of the Squall Eater.
Like the salt on a rim of a margarita. Phosphorus through my hand.
It's worth its weight in salt.
Hey.
Well.
Holy. Dang, I should have kept those jewels.
No kidding.
Flawless plan. Executed flawlessly.
It was a pretty good plan. There's just a couple of loose ends.
Just a couple.
We should have worked out Frumpkin in advance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought we'd have time in the morning. Come back.
There were a few moments to possibly discard a couple of key objects.
Yeah.
But
we got the information
But this
we
is
needed.
good. But you got the information you needed, and this is going to be a hell of a start to the next session. Oh man, I wasn't expecting it to go this way.
Info is golden.
All right, we'll pick up here in a couple weeks. We're sad we won't see you guys next week for Thanksgiving. Do we have what do we have going on over Thanksgiving?
Well, the day after Thanksgiving on Friday is Honey Heist 3, Tova's Honeys.
There we go. Yes. So we're sad we'll be missing on Thursday, but Friday we do have that.
On
Awesome.
Friday, watch us as bears. Stealing honey instead of very invaluable books.
It can
and
only go better.
jewels. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, I think my heart's pumping.
We go on
The last 10 minutes have been like, don't cast it. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait.
It felt like getting called into the principal's office.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck.
Like a principal that always knows when you're lying.
Yeah.
We have video, man. Like, I didn't do it.
Oh man. Well, see you guys in a couple weeks to pick up from this crazy moment. Until then, thank you. We love you very much. And is it Thursday yet? Good night, guys.
We're going to war!